Welcome to my pub.
I love the banter, I love the people that are in kitchens, I love the way that they work, I love the energy, I love the noise.
This is the coach. So as you come in, down here is the bar, an open kitchen.
Behind you. 2 burger, 1 chip, sorry, please.
Pubs have been my life for over 20 years.
2 set chips crispy, please.
Join me behind the scenes of this one to meet the team who've made it a Michelin-starred success.
Any closer, we'll put a chef's jacket on you and an apron.
And to share our secrets for cooking and serving exceptional food.
If you're in a kitchen, it does feel like you're in this secret sect of people that just know something different to everybody else.
And for the first time, I'm going to open the doors to my test kitchen, where I'll create classic pub-style dishes you can cook at home.
Oh, look at that!
This time,
Table 32, please.
I reveal what it takes to serve up the legendary Coach Burger.
I wanted to feel a little bit like Scooby-Doo, and then he gets this amazing Scooby snack that him and Shaggy fight over.
And in my test kitchen, I'm going to show you how to cook a fabulous fried chicken burger.
Don't worry about the dribble coming out the bottom. Have a good bite.
Along with 2 more pub favourites, prawn cocktail
Pint of beer and a few chips on the side. It's mega, isn't it?
and sticky toffee pudding.
It's rich, it's creamy, it's salty with the sauce. Delicious.
I've owned this high street pub for 10 years. And as you can see, it's not the biggest.
Squeezed bone the bar, thank you, guys. Clean as we go, ads, clean as we go. When you're sat at these bar stools, you can talk to Sarah, head chef. You can see the stuff getting cooked on the rotisserie. There's nowhere for these guys to hide. This bit here, the mussels and the beetroot salads, those sort of things, the scotch eggs. We've got Holly here, who's working the dessert section today. We've got the walk-in fridge, which actually isn't very big. It just kind of like fits me in, that's about it. This is our massive dry store. And then we're back into this space. So you can see, this is like a really compact space. And then when a big lump like me gets in the way, it absolutely ruins service, doesn't it, mate? The reality of British pubs, they were essentially just places for drink. The food that used to be there used to be like a cling film sandwich behind the bar of pork scratchings. So as pubs have grown and adapted, we've had to make sure that these small kitchens operate the best they can, because pretty much 90% of the pubs up and down the country operate out of tiny little kitchens.
As well as showing you how my pub kitchen works,
Sorry, Howard, thank you, mate.
I want to let you in on the secrets behind the most popular dishes on the menu.
My pick for today would be the Coach Burger with smoked cheddar, cola braised beef and dill pickle. The Coach Burger is a single patty burger, however, it packs a massive, mighty punch. I wanted to feel a little bit like, you know, like Scooby-Doo, when they solve a crime right at the end and he gets this amazing Scooby snack that him and Shaggy have a fight over. That's what the complete original thought of what the Coach Burger should be.
And the big secret about this burger, it takes over 5 hours to prepare.
The recipe and the development of it came through. I would like the burger to be a little bit pink in the middle. We make the burger mix and we roll it into like a long sausage, basically. And then we cook it for 5 hours at a low temperature. So it's completely cooked all the way through, but it stays nice and pink. Looks amazing. It's stacked really high. It's like little and long, rather than it being short and wide.
With such a long cook time, we need to get started on the prep early doors.
The first thing that we put together is the minced beef. Now, this minced beef is chuck steak, so it's kind of really high fat content, big flavour. That goes into a big mixing bowl. This big mixing bowl is well used. It's been here for, what, 10 years. So stood next to me is Sarah Hayward, who is the head chef here at the Coach. This mixing bowl has been here longer than any of the chefs in this kitchen. How does that make you feel?
Been outshone by a mixing bowl.
Yeah, outshone by a mixing bowl. The mixing bowl's going to get his Rolex watch before you.
How long do you have to be working here for a Rolex watch then?
10 years. 10 years.
How long's Sarah been here for? How long have you been here, Sarah?
Be 10 years in January.
10 years in January. Sarah is the next watch. Honestly, I think it's amazing. 10 years of Sarah's life has been into our business. Sarah is very much her own chef, runs her own kitchen, has been able to build her own brigade of pirates. Within the group, she's known as Scarer, not Sarah.
No, I've
Scarer.
You're the only one that calls me Scarer. I'm lovely. I don't know where you get it from.
So we've got beef suet that goes into the mix. And because we're cooking it low and slow, beef fat gently renders. It doesn't fry away or disappear. What it does is it just kind of soaks in and works really nicely with that chuck steak kind of mince. Sarah, what size do I do this?
1 kilo.
God, we actually weigh it. Normally, right, back in the day, I'd have just done it by eye. But Sarah's now like, every one is exactly the same. Every one is 1 kilo, so I've got to weigh it, otherwise I get told off.
Let's see how close you can get.
Yeah.
Oh, nearly.
17 grams out. I was, essentially, that far out from being perfect. And then roll it into a sausage. How many burgers do you reckon we get out of one of these, Sarah?
Should get 5 out of each roll, chef.
5 out of each roll. Here, got a knife. I forgot what they look like. Got one. You get your roll like that, then it gets vacuum sealed, and then it gets dropped into a 65-degree water bath and cooked for 5 hours. So that is the cooked burger. They get chilled, and then you can slice them into these burgers. And then we fry them either side, so you get that lovely kind of caramelized, meaty flavor, and then it gets loaded up really high. Cannot wait to show you what it looks like when we stack it all up.
When I want to work up a new recipe,
Show me on.
I get out of everyone's way and head to my test space tucked away out the back.
Thank you very much, Chef. Cheers. This is a great place for me or the other chefs to have a go at playing around with dishes, good ones to show what you can do at home. And there's nothing more of a pub favourite than this one. This is a prawn cocktail with a Bloody Mary sauce. It's got a little twist to it, a bit of boozing for those of you that like it, which is probably most of you.
To start the sauce, mayo and tomato puree.
Why did you decide to pair Bloody Mary with your prawn cocktail?
Prawns, I remember what they taste like. Can't eat them. Got a shellfish allergy. They're rich, they're meaty, but I want something to kind of lift it. And Mary Rose sauce is always very good at that. But the Bloody Mary bit, the splash of vodka, always look, particularly in this room, for flavour plus.
Begin building the flavour with ketchup and creamed horseradish.
I love horseradish. So I put a bit of extra in.
Tom, what are you best known for as a chef in terms of your cooking style?
I think in terms of cooking style in the pubs is those pub classics that have then been elevated, and it's flavour profiles that work really nicely, that are strong and punchy. But I think also a nod to British ingredients. It's not just prestigious, exclusive food for an elite bunch of people.
Next, add the flavours of a Bloody Mary, that well-known hair of the dog hangover cure. Generous splashes of Worcestershire sauce, Tabasco and vodka. Plus a pinch of celery salt and sea salt.
That's it. Punchy. Very much like a proper Bloody Mary. Now, obviously, a Bloody Mary is quite often served with celery, so I'm going to use celery from a prawn cocktail. It's one of the first things I was told by a much older and wiser chef than me when I was a young commie. Look after the ingredients, and they will look after you. That was as he was hitting me on the head with a big bunch of rosemary, because I didn't know me herbs. Remembered which one was rosemary after that. We would sing that Simon and Garfunkel song going, parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme. Like, that's how I remembered my herbs early doors. True story, that.
Do you have everything you need, Chef?
Yeah, you could take that, actually.
Sure. Thank
Is
you,
everything
sir.
all right out there?
Yes, all good.
Okay, cool.
Now lettuce. These are my favourites, little gems. Save a few outer leaves and wrap the heart up like a cigar.
And then with your knife, finely chiffonade, it's called. You can hear that crisp and crunch of the lettuce, can't you? One of my secrets to a great prawn cocktail is different textures. You've got lettuce leaves that will kind of we keep in whole, kind of scoop things up, but also the thin, shredded lettuce as well. Now I'm using 2 prawns, 2 different sizes. They're cooked. These ones still got their tails on because they're going to work for garnish.
To build the cocktail, lettuce in first. Then dress the smaller prawns
Drizzle it.
and arrange on the leaves.
My wife is a big fan of shellfish. She wouldn't even have a main course. She would just have a prawn cocktail. And that's what's great about pubs. That pint of beer and a few chips on the side, it's mega, isn't it?
Finish with chopped celery and chives.
It's a classic prawn cocktail, dressed our way with that Bloody Mary dressing. This is a pub favourite for a reason. And the reason is because it's lovely.
And for more pub-style food you can make at home, I've got a fabulous fried chicken burger and an amazing sticky toffee pudding.
Tastes amazing, looks beautiful. Out the front, out there, we worked really hard on creating that gorgeous, really kind of almost top-heavy, topple-over kind of burger. But sometimes you want something a bit simpler, something a bit easier. This is my version of a fried chicken burger. Now, a great cut of meat for a burger like this is chicken thigh. It's probably the most tasty part of the chicken. And it's the bit that's doing all the work. It's the thing that's pushing the bird around, having a wander around, free range, having a lovely time. So although it's got brilliant taste, it does have a bit of a texture that needs a little bit more cooking or go through a process of helping to tenderize it. So stick your chicken thigh onto your meat board and just bash it a little bit. Don't let out all your anger, right? This isn't a case of being like angry chef, smashing things. The next process of tenderization comes from this. This is buttermilk, and the enzymes that are in that buttermilk that make a big difference to those chicken thighs. Begins to tenderize them the longer you leave them in there.
Buttermilk is the byproduct of butter making. Flavour it with Cajun spice mix and garlic powder. Stick in the chicken and give it a bit of a massage.
I'm going to leave the chicken in that buttermilk mix for a minimum of half an hour.
Next, my blue cheese dressing. Mix blue cheese, sour cream and mayo with a splash of cider vinegar, a squirt of American mustard and chopped chives.
So when you think of like a fried chicken burger, it's the coating that's also amazing. And the best way of making that is a combination of 2 types of flour, plain flour and corn flour.
And the secret behind the best crispy chicken is what we in the business call dredging. Take the chicken thighs out of the marinade and dredge them in the flour. It means give them a really good coating.
You can see it's beginning to get clumps on it, and that's actually what we want.
And this trick is going to make all the difference.
Put it back into the buttermilk. Get another layer of that buttermilk flavouring on it. Then put it back one more time in the seasoned flour. So these guys now go into a deep fat fryer, 170 degrees, for about 5 or 6 minutes so they're crispy, golden brown and cooked. The chicken, gently lift out. This is when you season it, so that salt sits in amongst all those little jaggedy crooks and crannies and holes that are there. Little bit of the blue cheese dressing goes on the bottom of the bun. Then some of your gem lettuce. Bit more dressing, then the chicken. Don't worry about the dribble coming out the bottom. Have a good bite. It's very hard to beat a good beef patty, but I reckon this chicken will give it a good fight.
Back in the pub kitchen, and the lunchtime rush is on. Unsurprisingly, orders are flying in for our popular beef burger.
Right, ads, 2 burger, 1 chips for me, please.
The check for the burger has come on, and what happens is Sarah then puts the burger directly on the planchas. So it gets cooked both sides, nice, crispy, fried.
Off the plancha, the burger goes into the oven for 4 minutes.
We just put the cheese on now for that last little bit of it kind of like melting over the top.
Adam, our chef de partie, toasts the brioche buns and preps the rest of the burger stack.
So he's got hash browns that have been deep fried, beautiful, crispy, nice and hot. And he's got celeriac remoulade, which is a bit like the celeriac coleslaw. It's a big piece, chunk of pickled cucumber. It's our version of a gherkin. And then a sesame seed bun on the top. There we go. Quick, there's a cheeseburger coming out. So the melty cheese is on top, and then the Coca-Cola braised brisket. Nice spoonful of that. And he's going to lift it, put it onto the bottom of the bun. Then he lifts up, on, stick goes down. Boom. Look at that. That is the most ridiculous burger you've ever seen. Now he's got to try and balance 2 of them and carry them to the pass so that Darren can take them out to the guests. Good luck, Ad. He made it.
How do you like to eat it?
It's a knife and fork job for me. It's not a squishy burger that you hold and eat and dribble. It's one that's slightly, I mean, I've got to admit, it is really tricky to eat, but, you know, it tastes nice.
Table 32, please.
Some people absolutely love it. Some people think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world, but I quite like that. I love the fact that people think it's ridiculous.
Ridiculously tasty, chef.
Ridiculously tasty. There we are.
There's one more dish I want to show you, and it's arguably the king or queen of pub puddings.
Everyone has a favourite dessert in a pub, and there isn't a better favourite, in my opinion, than sticky toffee pudding. And like pretty much every sticky toffee pudding, starts off with dates.
Chop them roughly. Then add a teaspoon of bicarb of soda and a splash of boiling water. This will help break down the dates a little. Next, the batter. 2 eggs go into the mixing bowl with light brown sugar and mix.
I'm going to add a special secret ingredient. Now this is beef suet. If you think of steamed puddings, you associate them with pubs, really solid, great British cookery. So then we beat the suet into the egg and the sugar mix.
Do you take a lot of inspiration from, like, traditional recipes?
Yeah, all the time. The things that I enjoyed as a kid are some of the things that maybe my mum enjoyed as a kid and that my son now enjoys. And they're firm favourites for a reason, because they are just about classic flavours that we all keep coming back to.
I'm giving the classic flavours a twist with a splash of rum. It's amazing with dates. Then add a teaspoon of vanilla extract, a spoonful of milk, and mix.
Now, self-raising flour is going to go in. I'm just going to sieve it. It's not essential that you do this at home. It is essential, though, if you work in the pub. Everything gets sieved. Mix it together. Low, low speed, OK? I'm trying to fold it together rather than whisk it and beat it too much.
Fill moulds lightly greased with butter, 3/4 full to allow room for the batter to rise in the oven.
So next thing to go with sticky toffee pudding is the toffee sauce that goes with it.
Gently heat 200 grams of caster sugar in a pan until it melts.
But don't be lulled into a false sense of security, all right? Sugar is hardcore.
Once it's turned a deep amber, turn off the heat. Add 250 ml of double cream, which will stop the sugar cooking. Stir in 85 grams of butter and a pinch of flaky sea salt.
Toffee sauce is ready, so on my puddings. Look at that. And that end is all a bit bobbly. With a knife, trim it. So it's flat. So we'll sit that in the bowl to serve with it. Vanilla ice cream. And then our lovely salted caramel style toffee sauce. And we just drizzle it over the top of that pudding. That's essentially simple cooking, creating one of the country's firm favourites, particularly in a pub. Tastes amazing, looks beautiful, easy to do at home, but works so well in this pub environment.
That's enough messing about in my chef cave. Time to rejoin the team
You good, ads? Yes, sir.
for some proper work. Welcome to my pub.
I love the banter, I love the people that are in kitchens, I love the way that they work, I love the energy, I love the noise.
This is the coach. So as you come in, down here is the bar, an open kitchen.
Behind you. 2 burger, 1 chips away, please.
Pubs have been my life for over 20 years.
2 set chips crispy, please.
Join me behind the scenes of this one to meet the team who've made it a Michelin-starred success
Any closer, we'll put a chef's jacket on you and an apron.
and to share our secrets for cooking and serving exceptional food.
If you're in a kitchen, it does feel like you're in this secret sect of people that just know something different to everybody else.
And for the first time, I'm going to open the doors to my test kitchen, where I'll create classic pub-style dishes you can cook at home.
Oh, look at that!
This time,
15, please.
it's the debut of a new dish on the Coach menu, Cornish sea bass with sauce Diane.
It's just fantastic.
And I create another amazing sea bass dish you can cook at home.
Crisp it, flip it, butter it, all right?
I'm also showcasing the freshest of ingredients with a courgette and goat's cheese starter.
That's what you want.
And these lip-smacking rhubarb crumble pots. The quality and range of pub food in the UK has changed beyond recognition in recent years.
I love the way that thyme and garlic comes out from that.
People expect meals prepared on the premises with fresh ingredients, which hasn't always been the case.
Looking good, looking good. Really good.
And our approach to ingredients here is simple. Use the very best we can get our hands on.
So here, this is the walk-in fridge. It's tiny, but this is what we have to operate out of for a small pub like this. Using fresh seasonal ingredients is, for us, the most important thing, because that's when the ingredient is absolutely at its best. Beautiful hispy cabbages that are in, amazing English asparagus. We're very lucky we can get deliveries every single day. As soon as it can leave the field, it's into the market and into us within 24 hours. So here we have monk's beard, and it comes from Italy. This wonderful kind of grassy herb that goes so beautifully with fish. And this isn't the sort of thing that you can buy in a supermarket on your daily shop. This is something that we can get from our specialist veg suppliers, and that's what makes coming out to the pub something different, because you can come here, you can have something that you wouldn't normally have at home. In the hands of Michelin star chefs, cooking you something very simple, very clean, making the most of a seasonal ingredient. 2 weeks, this is around for.
As this amazing herb is only around for such a short time, I want to make sure it's partnered with the best fresh produce.
We've got a fish supplier who's based in Cornwall, and Sarah has the phone call every day in the morning at around about 10 o'clock about what's coming to the market, what's amazing, what is 10 out of 10. It could be sea bass, it could be gurnard, it could be monkfish. Whatever is 10 out of 10, Sarah will take.
And we've taken delivery of today's 10 out of 10, which will go beautifully with the monk's beard. Caught yesterday and on the menu today.
Roast Cornish sea bass with celeriac, monk's beard and sauce Diane. Sea bass is a wonderful fish. That flesh in it, particularly when it's in season and at its best, is amazing.
And tell me just about the seasonality of fish.
You normally associate seasonality with just fruit and vegetables, but actually throughout the summertime you get wonderful plaice that come into the south coast, and then the colder waters bring in the pollocks and the cods and those kind of like deeper North Sea style fish. This is a whole fish, but it has been gutted. It's been scaled as well, look. First thing you want to do is take your sharp knife and come just behind the head and cut down, and you can see that's where the spine is. You want to follow your knife across that back spine, and you have it on a slight angle, and you're using the spine to guide your knife along. Christian used to work for our fish supplier. Christian, so when you worked on the fish prep, did you used to come that side of the rib cage?
I would almost turn the fish around and go the other way.
There we go. I should have listened to Christian. Christian, do you want to do the other side?
Can if you like, chef. Second side, it's easier to start the tail.
This is how somebody does it super quick.
It's all about kind of just short, sharp cuts. And I'm just pushing my knife down against the rib cage.
Kitchen secret, best fish prep is get yourself a Christian. You also then need to pin bone it. Now, here's a little tip for you. If you haven't got fish pliers, get yourself some small electrician's pliers, and they work just as well. Right, what sort of size do you want this, chef?
A little bit smaller, chef.
A little bit smaller?
Yeah, just there.
Is that all right for you?
Yeah, lovely.
Beautiful, lovely little portion of sea bass there. You're not scoring it now?
No, I'll score it to order, chef.
Score to order. If only Man United could do that. So once the fish is all trimmed, I'm going to pop it into a brine. Now, I've got a brine here, which is 1 litre of water to 100 grams of salt. So that brining process helps to firm up that flesh, and the salt that's in it will help dry out the skin. I know it sounds bizarre, doesn't it, that we're putting into something wet
to make it dry.
To make it dry. It'll go in the fridge now for 20 minutes, OK? Then we'll take it out, pat it dry, go onto a lined tray with a cloth on it, ready for service. Put the timer on for 20 minutes, chef. Perfect.
And while the fish is brining, I'm heading to my test kitchen to showcase a beautiful and rather underrated vegetable.
I'm always going on about fresh is best, particularly when we're doing something really simple like a clean and easy starter like this. Roasted courgettes with whipped goat's cheese. Start off with goat's cheese. Just give it a quick blitz just to break it down. I'm going to add cream cheese. And then to that, yoghurt. It's just that little bit of acidity that cuts through the richness.
There's more acidity from the zest and juice of half a lemon.
Lid on. And then pulse it just to start. Make sure it's creamy and smooth. And you can keep this to one side until you need it later. This, wash back up, please. I can get it back as quickly as possible.
I'm topping the dish with herby toasted breadcrumbs. Remove the crust from a slice of sourdough and blitz to a crumb. Melt butter with a dash of olive oil and add the breadcrumbs. While they're toasting, chop some parsley and red chilli.
How do you decide what to put on a menu?
We need a beef dish. We need a chicken dish. We need a fish dish. And then you can start adding your little touches to it. What makes it seasonal, what makes it exciting. And pretty much all of it, all the time, always comes down to ingredients.
Stir the herbs into the breadcrumbs and leave to cool.
Okay, so the next thing to go with it is our courgettes. Now, these are fresh in from the suppliers this morning, 2 different types, Roman courgettes and a standard normal one. And look at creating shapes and texture. Texture is actually really exciting for the mouth. It also creates flavour. Things will soften, some things will go crispy, something might get a bit charred.
Tom, did you used to cut yourself with a sharp knife?
Obviously, you do it a lot more at the beginning. The jobs that you get as a young commis chef is a lot of chopping, but there's still always points where chefs will cut themselves. You know, it's part and parcel of it. Your daily life is dealing with things that are hot and things that are sharp. At some point, you're going to burn yourself. At some point, you're going to cut yourself.
Heat virgin olive oil in a pan and add the courgettes.
Don't move anything about just yet. You don't want it to steam. That bubbling frying noise, that's what we want. And you can see just here, they're beginning to go brown on the edges. And then start flicking them. They've started to caramelise. And that's what you want. And you can see that bit there. That's what I meant about cutting it at an angle.
Add sliced garlic towards the end of cooking so it doesn't burn. Followed by a splash of sherry vinegar.
Heat is off, time to start plating up. Put a big dollop of that gorgeous creamy goat's cheese in the bottom of the plate. Then we'll put the courgettes on. Now, if you imagine this in the pub, the one thing that you cook to order when the check comes on, the courgettes. Then on top of that, the breadcrumbs. Finish with the last little grating of lemon zest. And then you get your lovely olive oil and drizzle that over the top. This is a beautiful starter. It's a perfect dish. The height of seasonality, fresh, crisp, delicious.
And I've got 2 more dishes you can try at home. One using that wonderful sea bass, and the other a fresh way to do rhubarb and custard.
I tell you what, it's going to eat absolutely delicious. Okay, sea bass. Now, saw it prepped out in the pub, and this is another way of cooking beautiful fresh fish. Very, very simple, served with some squid. First thing I'm going to do is prep my fish. These little pieces we'll save for staff tea. We'll do little fish and chip kind of nuggety things, something like that, maybe even a fish pie if we've got time. And then portion your bass. And then across the top, just score it.
Do you like going fishing, Tom?
Oh, I love it. The idea of being closer to produce is really important for us as a team of chefs to all get out there and understand it. Last summer, we all went down to Cornwall and met our fish supplier, and we spent 2 days out on the boats. It was a good bit of banter. In fact, Sarah was the first one to catch a fish, and I think she caught the most as well. Or it might have been the other way around. Maybe she never caught one. I don't quite remember. All I know is that I got loads. Whilst the fish board is out, I'm going to chop up my squid. Cut into strips, and then into cubes of around about 1 centimetre. Then just snip the tentacles into little pieces, then go in with the rest of the squid. The next thing is chop a shallot. The proper way of chopping shallots, take the middles out, cut your leaves into strips, and dice. Trying to make everything uniform, same size.
Are these the kind of techniques that you always teach your newest chefs?
Chopping shallots and doing it properly, all of these sort of things are really, really important. Everything has to be pinpoint accurate. You can always tell the ones that are going to be really, really good cooks are the ones that take care of the raw prep. They're excited by the ingredients when they come through the back door. not by the end dish necessarily. I grew up on an estate in Gloucester. The ingredients that were coming through my mum's back door were foods of convenience. But then when you go into a kitchen and you start seeing different types of onion, seasonality, all of those sort of things, that's where it suddenly became really exciting for me.
And all the ingredients in this dish are mega exciting. These are cooking chorizos. Dice and fry them in olive oil.
The next thing that's going to go into that are those beautiful chopped shallots. No one notices that every single one was cut beautifully into perfect little dice. It doesn't matter, because there's a sense of precision and care that's gone right at the beginning. It sets your mindset in the process of care, consideration. It's a little bit like getting up in the morning and making your bed. You're already on to a good day.
Would you have been good in the army?
Maybe something in the forces might have been all right. I like the idea of having everything in the right place.
Add a clove of sliced garlic and red wine. Bring to the boil and reduce by half. Followed by baby plum tomatoes, water and passata, and the squid. Leave to stew for around 25 minutes.
Smells wonderfully rich. It's amazing. I'm just going to put that to one side. Take your sea bass fillet, dust it in the flour, pat off any excess. That's going to go nice and crispy in the pan. Squeeze of olive oil. Just hold your fingers on it, nice and gentle. What I'm looking for is just a nice crisp finish on that skin. We are literally seconds away. It's almost, I'd say, 85% cooked, skin side down, nice and gentle and slow. So at this point, when the skin is crispy, I'm gonna flip them.
After flipping the fillets, add butter and a squeeze of lemon and baste.
If you add the butter before you've flipped it, what will happen is that the skin will go soft. All that hard work making that skin nice and crispy, actually the butter softens it. Crisp it, flip it, butter it, all right?
Finish the squid and chorizo stew with chopped parsley. Spoon onto the plate and dress with parsley oil.
Then, serve your piece of fish. And that's it. Amazing line caught, beautiful fresh sea bass, wonderful squid, the freshness of the tomatoes, a celebration, fresh, clean, crisp ingredients.
We've got a lovely table just in the window. Right, 15 and 23, please.
In the pub kitchen, lunchtime service is as busy as always.
There's a sea bass come on order. Now that plancha, that stove that it's on, isn't too hot. This could be a frying pan at home. This could be under a gentle medium heat at home. The thing we got to remember is that came in this morning, straight from the fish market, and then it's served for lunch. I mean, it's amazing. That's it. It's incredible. Now, whilst that's cooking up, Sarah's going to heat up the sauce. So this is a Diane sauce. It's kind of like a mushroom sauce. It's got a little splash of brandy through it. So the acidity that Sarah's decided to put through there, which works so well, is pickled mushrooms. The acidity level helps lift the freshness of that fish, and it all combines really, really nicely.
Sarah's crisped, flipped and buttered the sea bass. All she has to do now is give that super seasonal monk's beard a blast of heat, and it's ready to plate up for the guest.
And the bottom of the bowl, the roasted celeriac puree. Next on goes that Diane sauce. Then the monk's beard, clean, simple, wonderful flavour. Then that beautiful piece of sea bass. And then there's a little mix of breadcrumbs here. So it's brioche and sourdough, mixed with some fresh herbs and a little bit of lemon, finished with a bit of parsley oil. And then it's ready to serve.
Hi, sir.
The importance of making the best of wonderful produce extends all the way through the pub menu.
Freshness of ingredients is key, even when it comes to desserts. So using a stem of rhubarb like this, crispness is so important, particularly for this dessert.
My individual rhubarb crumble pots.
Now, this is exactly the same as you'd make any other crumble, but I'm just going to make the crumble topping separately.
Take 50 grams each of butter, caster sugar and plain flour. Add 25 grams of oats and rub together.
Tom, what are your memories of crumble as a kid?
It is the sort of thing that my mum used to make every now and then, like on a Sunday lunch. You know, rugby training in the morning and come back, my mum would have made crumble, but it would be apple and blackberry. It's the sort of thing that you normally associate autumnal or kind of winter dishes. But this is a really nice way, I think, of making crumble all year round. Works beautifully with summer fruits and springtime ingredients. Right, once I kind of combined it all together, and it looks crumbly, didn't know really how else to explain it. Put it onto a tray lined with baking parchment.
Stick it in the oven for 10 minutes till it's nicely toasted.
Well, that's in the oven. I'm gonna get my rhubarb ready. It's always better to do in an oven on a tray like that with some stem ginger. Now, I absolutely love ginger and rhubarb. It's a combination together. It's fantastic. It's got a little bit of fiery heat, but it's also got that gorgeous sweetness in that syrup.
Pour a couple of tablespoons of syrup over the rhubarb. Chop the ginger and add to the tray with a sprinkle of caster sugar.
And looking at the sugar dropping on that rhubarb there, that is a proper childhood memory. You used to have a little pot of sugar and a stick of rhubarb, and you dip in sugar and just eat, and I absolutely love it.
Add more fruity flavour with grenadine, a pomegranate syrup, and strips of orange zest plus the juice. Cover the tray with foil and pop in a medium oven. For an extra pub touch, I'm going to top each little crumble with more rhubarb, cooked another way. Cut a stem into short sticks and fry in butter.
It's a really good kind of pub secret that you keep adding flavour. And then finally, squeeze the lemon juice. I'm just going to leave it to cool.
Take the rhubarb out of the oven, and once everything's cold, layer the pudding up like a trifle. First the poached rhubarb and ginger, then crumble, squirty cream flavoured with vanilla, more crumble, and top with a piece of pan-fried rhubarb.
I know it's a bit retro, serving things in glasses, but when you've got colours like that, I want to see all those layers, don't you? I love it. Get a bit of that rhubarb, crumble and the cream. Oh my God, what a great dessert. Celebration of great ingredients, fresh and best.
Me and my team have worked tirelessly to build a reputation for inventive, high-quality food in all our pubs. And our secret for holding on to that reputation? Never compromise on ingredients. Welcome to my pub.
I love the banter, I love the people that are in kitchens, I love the way that they work, I love the energy, I love the noise.
This is the coach. So as you come in, down here is the bar, an open kitchen.
Behind you. 2 burger, 1 chip, sorry, please.
Pubs have been my life for over 20 years.
2 set chips crispy, please.
Join me behind the scenes of this one to meet the team who've made it a Michelin-starred success.
Any closer, we'll put a chef's jacket on you and an apron.
and to share our secrets for cooking and serving exceptional food.
If you're in a kitchen, it does feel like you're in this secret sect of people that just know something different to everybody else.
And for the first time, I'm going to open the doors to my test kitchen, where I'll create classic pub-style dishes you can cook at home.
Oh, look at that!
This time, we're talking delicious double acts, 2 ingredients that work in perfect partnership. I share the secrets behind the pub's rhubarb and custard choux bun.
And that lovely red topping crumbles and crisps all over the top.
And cook another indulgent dessert, bread and butter pudding.
Calorie-wise, don't even ask.
Plus 2 more classic pairings. A starter of cheese and pickle croquettes.
These guys are delightful.
And the pub's ultimate main, steak and ale pie.
This is a classic combo. It's delicious.
All under control?
Yeah, always.
Always. Yeah. British pub food excels at traditional combinations. And one universally loved double act always features on my pub menu. Fish and chips.
Right, add fritter chips, please.
We make our fillets of hake super crunchy with an extra zigzag of batter. But what about our famous triple cooked chips? They're amazing partnered with our fish, but in truth, these beauties go a treat with pretty much anything.
Fritter chips cabbage, please. As Christian called, portion of chips.
We do them in great big, almost like wedges, and we triple cook them. That process of getting them really nice and crispy, but they're big, fluffy bits of potato in the middle.
And any tips on top potatoes?
The thing about potatoes, and people don't realise, they're very, very seasonal. So in the summertime, potatoes aren't their best for chips. There's a lot of sweetness in them, but they go brown quite quickly because sugar content caramelises before they've gone crispy. So you need winter potatoes, you need potatoes that have been aged. One that's generic, that's pretty good all year round is a Maris Piper. We have to have chips on in the pub, so we're on a battle against the seasons with chips, aren't we?
Always.
Always. We're at war with chips, even though they're our friend.
Most pub and restaurant kitchens are divided into 2. The main cooking happens in the hot kitchen. The other section is pastry.
How are we, mate? We okay? What we got going on here?
We have honey cake being cut.
Mega, mega, mega.
I'm more at home in the hot kitchen, but I'm stopping off at the pastry section to show you one of our coach puddings that celebrates a classic combination of ingredients.
This is a rhubarb and custard choux bun. That kind of baked, crispy crunchiness that you get on the outside. It's a play on the thought of profiteroles. People will always order it because they love it.
And being a Michelin-starred dish, there are multiple elements for sous chef Rich to prepare.
You've got the wonderful pieces of rhubarb that Rich is now just putting into a vac pack, gently poach them in a water bath, take them out and chill them. And the choux bun Rich is making now, a choux pastry, gets piped, and on top of it, there's one of these lovely little discs. And this is like it's called a craquelin. It's kind of like a little red biscuity tweel, but actually this is a bit of a pub secret. You put that little biscuit on the top, it kind of splits as it cooks, and the end result is the choux bun bakes and puffs up, and that lovely red topping crumbles and crisps all over the top.
Once topped, the buns will get exactly 28 minutes in the fan oven.
And this is the difference between pastry work and a hot kitchen work. Hot kitchens is about touch and feel. Pastry is about progressive learning and understanding.
You said pastry chefs built differently.
Pastry chefs are built differently, yeah. They work in a different mindset. They have to remove themselves slightly from the chaos and concentrate on the precision.
And Chef Rich has got a pub secret of his own.
So I just cling from the oven to stop people opening it in the middle of choux, because obviously 28 minutes, it's all quite precise, and if someone opens it, they'll drop. And it's quite important that it stays closed.
First thing you got to do is uncling film your oven. What happened to that one? That one is because it's in the middle of the knife, so the air circulation on that has not been the same, and so it hasn't risen as well.
Yeah, every day is school day.
Every day is school day. There you go. See, I do know stuff about pastry.
Rich will be assembling the dish in service later, and I can't wait to show you what it looks like. In the meantime, I'm heading to my test kitchen to make a starter inspired by another classic combo.
One of the best things that's so British is cheese and pickle. So I'm going to make a dish that's wrapped around cheese and pickle, but actually takes us to another part of the world as well, Spain. I'm going to do a croqueta. Croquetas get this lovely kind of rich, cheesy bechamel-style sauce, deep-fried, crispy and crunchy and gooey in the middle with ham and cheese. This one is going to be cheese and pickle.
Melt butter and add plain flour to make a roux. Add milk a little at a time.
Now, the point of making this dish is that you can get them all done, even days in advance of when you need it. So, for a pub's point of view, you can have them in the freezer, ready to go, drop them straight in the fryer. But if you have them at home, drop them into a fryer or even just shallow fry them in a pan. You end up with these perfect cheese and pickle croquettes.
Add grated strong cheddar and grated nutmeg.
Nutmeg in a white sauce is fantastic. Nutmeg and cheese together is amazing.
Followed by Dijon mustard and diced smoked cheddar.
I want those cubes to kind of sit in the sauce. So as you deep fry it, there's little nuggets of it that just melt. So you've got an added little bit of texture to it.
What was it like getting into a kitchen for the first time?
I went into a kitchen when I was 18, so I started washing up. I needed a job, and I just loved the energy, the banter, the laugh. I thought, do you know what? I quite fancy a bit of that. So then I started working every now and then on the starter section or on the garnish section. And that was it for me. I just thought, I love it. The humour, the late nights, the early mornings, you know, everything that was just a bit extreme.
Next in, a handful of chopped flat leaf parsley. Last but not least, add ploughman's pickle.
Get yourself a tray. And then we're just going to pour the mix in, spread it out evenly. This now goes into the fridge, set up for a couple of hours. Gives me time for a quick clean down, see how service is going.
Hi, Liam, 26, please.
Okay, after a couple of hours, it's firmed up nicely. And I'm going to cut this into equal-sized pieces. Take a piece out, and you roll it into a ball, pop it onto a tray. In a kitchen, you have a prep list of 20, 30, 40 jobs on them. So this is something that you would make the mix, put it in the fridge, get on with something else. But I suppose the same relates when you're at home, between doing this, walking the dogs, picking the kids up from school. Then these guys sit in the freezer for a couple of hours till they're firmed up really nice and hard, which makes it a lot easier for us to dust them in flour, cover them in eggs, and then put them into breadcrumbs, otherwise known as paneering.
Once the croquettes have hardened in the freezer, time to demonstrate the art of paneering. Pay attention at the back.
Clean hand, dirty hand. Clean, drops them into the flour. Then, into the egg, but don't put your fingers in the egg. And this hand rolls them around in the egg, make sure they get a nice coating all the way over, and then drop them into the breadcrumbs. Then this hand, the drier one, get your breadcrumbs and drop them on the top. Get a nice even covering, pop them onto a tray.
I'm deep frying the croquettes in batches so I don't overcrowd the basket.
They look, they smell. I mean, they even sound fantastic. Great Parmesan over the top. Crispy, cheesy, classic combination with that pickle coming through it, with a nod to Spain, but firmly rooted in Great Britain. These guys are delightful. Right. That is so good.
And I'm not done with classic combos yet. How about the best steak and ale pie ever?
Looks mega, doesn't it?
And a bread and butter pudding that's next level.
Just melt that demerara and it gives that lovely little toasty burnt flavour. The main course for today is one of the best classic flavour combinations around. Steak and ale pie. It's something quite special, particularly when you come out to eat in a pub, of having your own individual pie. And this is how to do it. Starting off with braising steak.
Cube, then fry in a splash of vegetable oil.
Don't crowd the pan or season it at this point. If you crowd the pan, it will just steam. Also, if you season it, seasoning draws moisture, OK? So I don't really want any of the moisture being drawn from that meat just yet. When I first started cooking, you used to get told, you used to see a beef to lock in moisture and flavour. It's nothing to do with that. That searing process is driving flavour. That's what you want, that crispy, lovely, beefy flavour. My memories as pies as a child would be one big one that my mum used to buy from the shop and serve in the middle of the table. I'd rather steak and ale than steak and kidney every time.
Remove the beef from the pan and season. Then into the pan, add bacon pieces and diced onion.
It will release some moisture. Then that moisture, I'm going to use with the bacon to clean the bottom of the pan. If you see in the bottom of the pan now, all that flavour is being lifted up.
It's a process called deglazing in the trade. I'm also adding carrots alongside the onions.
Now, if you can get a little bit of colour on those carrots, great. If not, don't worry. But you just want to stew them and cook them on their own before we add any more liquid to them.
Add tomato puree and give it a stir to cook out the acidity. Then sprinkle over some plain flour.
We want to deglaze that, OK? The same as we did with the onions. I want to lift that flavour up. Do that with beer, steak and ale. And that steam will start releasing again the flavours from the bottom of the pan.
Next in, beef stock. Then add the beef back to the pan. Bring to the boil and add some rosemary and thyme.
And on top, I'm going to put a little bit of baking parchment that's been cut into a circle. It's called a cartouche in this world. And basically, all it's doing, and it's not letting any of the beef bob out of the top.
Pop the pan into a medium oven for 2.5 hours. Then cool and chill the filling till you're ready to make the pastry and assemble the pies.
One of the best pastries to use is a hot water pastry. And the big bonus of it is it's quite easy to work with.
Heat water, butter and lard in a pan. Beat 2 eggs. Then mix plain flour, salt and English mustard powder in the mixer bowl.
Just gently pour the hot water and the eggs, if you can, at the same time. And then let it do its magic.
Roll out the pastry and cut out rough circles. Line the moulds, pushing the pastry well into the edges. Fill generously with the beef and top with a pastry lid. Crimp the join. Put 2 slits in the lid and glaze with beaten egg. Pop the pies in the oven for 45 minutes. Then remove the moulds, egg wash the outside and give them another 15 minutes in the oven to finish off, leaving us enough time for a quick quiz.
Quick as you can.
Yeah.
Don't think about it too much, all right? Ketchup or mayo?
Mayo.
Beef or lamb?
Beef.
Salt and vinegar or cheese and onion?
Cheese and onion. Easy, that's the easiest, but a long way.
Man City or Man United?
Man United? I mean, come on. Man United. Look at them. They're amazing, aren't they? Should we have a little look in the middle? Are you ready? Da, 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 da. Oh, look at that!
Wow.
That looks mega, doesn't it? And that pastry's got a lovely crisp crust on it, but also it's a little bit soft in the middle. I know this is going to be like eating molten lava, but I can't stop myself. There's a proper reason why this is a classic combo. Lovely steaky flavour from roasting it heavily in the pan first. But that ale, the way that it works with it all, it's delicious. And I've just crossed the finishing line with my piathlon. And do you know what first prize in a piathlon is?
Is it a pie?
It's a pie. Yes!
Service happening right now. We're on. Lunch is moving. It's all right, Ad, you can serve it. Rich has got a check on for the rhubarb choux bun. So basically, you take the choux bun, you'll cut it in half, and in the bottom of it, he'll put the white chocolate cremo, he'll put those lovely pieces of rhubarb that were poached in the grenadine and in the water bath and then chilled. And then he'll also put this gorgeous rhubarb sorbet. And he's got a lid, the rhubarb compote goes in the lid. Then it kind of sits and squashes on top of the sorbet, so it holds it together. And then in a little jug on the side, he'll put a bit of rhubarb sauce. Then on top of that, he'll put the custard. So as you pour it, it looks like it's just the custard that comes out. And then right at the end, the rhubarb sauce drops out. And you've got this white, then that lovely kind of pinky red rhubarb sauce splits it. It's a split sauce, it's called. And where you've got that lovely crackling on the top, it just kind of holds all those flavours together. So Rich is ready to go. The choux bun is done up, comes up to the pass here. That is a proper play on a classic flavour combination. Rhubarb and custard. What more do you want? OK, table 6, please.
And I've got another dessert that's got to be in my top 5.
Bread and butter pudding. I mean, it is one of those classic combinations, but this one is a little bit different to any you've seen before. The secret is a lovely caramelised top, a bit like a creme brulee.
Start by making the custard. Add a vanilla pod and its seeds to a pan with 600 mils of double cream and half a grated nutmeg.
That is a proper childhood memory. Nutmeg custard tarts. Getting a bus into town with me mum. Go to the record shop. Maybe get a nutmeg custard tart. I'm gonna bring this up to the boil, just with a wooden spoon. Give it a stir, just make sure it's not catching on the bottom.
Add 75 grams of caster sugar to 8 egg yolks and whisk. When the cream comes to the boil, pour it over the egg mix.
I'm just passing it through a sieve, just in case there's any bits of impurity or lumps and bumps in it. And also, I want to squeeze every last bit of flavour out through that sieve. Make sure that none of those vanilla seeds are kept captive in the bottom.
For added luxury, I'm making the pudding with brioche buttered on both sides. And I'm sitting the slices in the custard for 20 minutes.
Got our individual moulds. Raisins are the classic combination with bread and butter pudding. Little layer in the bottom of each pan. Just gonna spoon some of this custard on top of the raisins. Gently put a piece of our bread.
Top them up with any custard left in the tray and pop in the oven for 10 minutes. And the secret to making these puddings next level is giving them an amazing topping.
Let's get some demerara sugar, sprinkle it over the top. With your blowtorch, just melt that demerara. And it gives that lovely little toasty burnt flavour. Don't put this under a super hot grill, okay? Because that bread will go up. Do it nice and gentle. Oh. All of this, classic combo. Bread, butter pudding, nutmeg, vanilla, rich custard. You know what, those classic combinations are classic combinations for a reason. They stand the test of time and they taste delicious. Calorie-wise, don't even ask, okay? Just enjoy it.
Great double acts will always be popular with pub goers, but given a fresh new twist,
6, please.
well, that's a marriage made in heaven. Welcome to my pub.
I love the banter, I love the people that are in kitchens, I love the way that they work, I love the energy, I love the noise.
This is the coach. So as you come in, down here is the bar, an open kitchen.
Behind you. 2 burger, 1 chip, sorry, please.
Pubs have been my life for over 20 years.
2 set chips Hisby, please.
Join me behind the scenes of this one to meet the team who've made it a Michelin-starred success
Any closer, we'll put a chef's jacket on you and an apron.
and to share our secrets for cooking and serving exceptional food.
If you're in a kitchen, it does feel like you're in this secret sect of people that just know something different to everybody else.
And for the first time, I'm going to open the doors to my test kitchen, where I'll create classic pub-style dishes you can cook at home.
Oh, look at that!
This time,
It has such beauty and elegance.
it's all in the presentation, with the secrets of one of the pub's most popular starters, duck liver parfait.
You can see it's creamy, shiny, smooth.
I show you a simple but elegant version you can cook at home,
That is beautiful.
plus an eye-catching cod main course
It looks like a mixture of chopped up grass and rubies.
and a gorgeous and delicious chocolate mousse.
Even half eaten, it looks brilliant.
They say you eat with your eyes. Well, that's rubbish. Because the most important thing for food coming out of this kitchen is flavour.
The smell, freshly grated citrus on it, is amazing.
That said, I do want everything my kitchen team creates in here to look beautiful.
And that's it, look at that.
Standing at the pass means either myself or head chef Sarah see every dish that goes out to our guests.
Simple, clean, beautiful. 3 different colours there, look, and the quite dramatic little black bowls. They're ready to go.
Service 22, please.
But we're a pub. We don't put too much on the plate or over garnish. We want our food to speak for itself.
Sometimes it's about simplicity and maybe 1 or 2 things on the plate, or sometimes it's about being creative and adding sauces that you pour at the table, or just allowing something cooked on the rotisserie that the guest might see it being roasted there. So it's about that particular ingredient being allowed to sing for itself, look appetising, and make sure that you as the guest go, oh, I want to eat that, I can't wait to get into that.
And we've worked hard on the presentation of this dish. One of our most popular starters. Duck liver parfait with fig and cherry chutney and toasted brioche.
And this is a recipe that we've been messing around with that actually has taken years to kind of perfect. Technique that goes into it gives you this wonderful end result, and it has such beauty and elegance in its simplicity when it's served.
Creating the perfect marriage of flavour and texture takes time and skill. Starting with the cooking process.
So Adam has cooked in a water bath egg yolks and the duck livers, and that have also had the onions and the garlic in them. We want those duck livers to be cooked, but still remain that lovely kind of pink colour. Then it gets blended with red wine, pork, raw garlic. It also has gelatin that then goes into it. Very important, soup bowls sit on top of a blender because we've lost the plastic bit. So that Parfait recipe, where you normally have eggs, livers, butter, all kind of blended together and then cooked in a bain-marie, which is one of those old school classics. This is a version that works really nicely because it's going to get frozen and then 24 hours later, it can get churned pretty much to order. And by churned, I mean blended. So here, in a big bowl, we've got softened butter. That past liver mix then gets whisked into the butter. We're gonna make sure it's super smooth. It's got to be luxurious. It's got to taste really decadent, creamy and rich. So butter is in there for that. Red wine, pork, garlic, onions. Have I said onions twice? Did I say onions twice?
All right, no, chef.
Do you want me to do that, chef, whilst you blend the others?
Yes, please. OK, chef. Thank you.
Kind of gets all emulsified and mixed together.
How long does it take to develop this?
Well, the first recipe started off like a standard old school parfait that I used to make when I was 18, and then having to go at freezing it and blending it. It would never work and it was always split. It took me about 18 months to 2 years to get the recipe right.
Cooking, blending, freezing, then churning. This is definitely a dish where we have to plan ahead.
You cannot run out of it at lunchtime and think, I better make some more for this evening. You've got to order the livers tonight so that the butcher brings them in tomorrow. Then you've got to cook them. Then you have to freeze it. So you're at minimum, if you run out of this, it's 2 days before you've got it on again. I know right now it looks like a slightly liquidy, browny, pinky custard, and you don't necessarily go, oh, yeah, that looks amazing. Just wait.
Later, I'll show you how good it looks when it's plated up. And I'm going to show you a parfait you can cook at home. But first, I'm heading for my test kitchen to create a fish dish that looks as good as it tastes.
I'm going to show you how to make a lovely looking main course, all about the flavours, but also about the colours.
This is my cod with roasted chilli butter, served with tomatoes and potatoes. And I'm kicking off by making that flavoured butter.
First thing to do is get the chili peppers on the heat and blacken those skins.
How would you do something like this in the pub then?
Use a heavy duty, hardcore plumber's blowtorch. You end up with a softened and roasted chili. That kind of slightly charred and barbecued flavour that you get just gives an added extra dimension of warmth. It's an ingredient that's been cared for rather than full-on assault mode.
And there's a pub trick to getting the chili skins off. Wrap them in cling film and let them cool. Pop them in a bowl of water and the skins will slide off easy. Slice open, scrape out the seeds and dice.
I've got here softened butter, and into this I'm going to add half a teaspoon of Espelette pepper, which is kind of like a roasted chili pepper, but it's got a lovely fragrance to it. If you haven't got Espelette pepper, a little pinch of chili powder, a bit of cayenne maybe, some paprika, those kind of like warming spice mixes, they're really, really nice.
Add salt, chopped flat leaf parsley, then the diced roasted chilies.
Get your roll of cling film, place your butter into the middle, roll it into a sausage, pull one end tight like that, and the same at the other end. Pull it out, and then twist. And that holds its shape. Now that butter can go in the fridge, harden up till you need it, or even better still, if you're making a big batch of it for a restaurant, they stay in the freezer for ages. baked cod is absolutely beautiful. It's a bit of a childhood throwback, you know, when you think of cod in parsley sauce and you get those big wedges of it. So if you can get a piece like this, skin off, it's a beautiful fillet.
I'm cooking the fish in individual dishes, but you could cook the whole lot in one big tray. Lightly crush pre-cooked new potatoes and pop 5 or 6 in the base of each dish.
Where did your love of pub food come from, Tom?
It helps me feel much more connected and grounded to where I come from, my background, who I am. So many chefs, I mean, on our days off, the last thing we want to do is dress up super smart and go and sit in a posh restaurant. Actually, most chefs on their days off, they're spent in the pub. Put our cherry tomatoes just to the side of the potatoes, and then on top of that, we put a little slice of this butter. These go into the oven for their first cook.
10 minutes at 180 fan is all they need.
In the pub, you take these out and you leave them to one side, ready for when a check comes on. Check on, 2 cod. You then go, right. You put your piece of fish on top of the potatoes, then we'll put another slice of butter on top of the cod. But the beautiful thing about it is the butter will melt and create a bit of a butter sauce pool at the bottom.
The dishes go back into the oven for 10 to 12 minutes to cook the fish. Then they can go straight to the table.
The smell that's coming off those, amazing. It's so simple, but it looks so beautiful. I mean, it looks like a mixture of chopped up grass and rubies, doesn't it? Does it taste as good as it looks? Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think it tastes better. There's a piece of fish here for your tea if you want it later.
Oh, nice one, Chef. Cheers.
And I've got more great-looking and tasting dishes to show you. A make-at-home liver parfait, and a luxurious chocolate mousse that's a feast for the eyes.
You know that's going to be super decadent, super lovely.
In the pub, one of the most popular starters is our duck liver parfait with toasted brioche. We'll see just how good that looks at service, but in the meantime, here's a chicken liver parfait you can make at home.
The end result is amazing. You start off with these guys, chicken livers.
The livers have been soaked overnight in milk to mellow their flavour. Put butter and olive oil in a pan and fry the livers in batches till just browned.
Tom, what counts as offal?
Basically, it's the internal organs of animals, kidneys, livers, sweetbreads, brains. Even lungs make an appearance in haggis. Sounds delicious, doesn't it? But actually used and used properly like this, it's brilliant.
Wipe out the pan and add bacon pieces, a diced shallot, garlic and thyme leaves.
Now, to just deglaze this pan, I'm going to put a good splash of brandy in. Just cook out the flame.
Then add port and red wine and reduce to a glaze. Pour it over the livers and season.
So the livers and all of the reduction and all of the juices and the butter go into the blender jug. Lid goes on, and then gently start blending. Then once it feels like it's beginning to blend, you're gonna add knobs of cold butter. And it's a little bit like making a sauce when you've reduced red wine down or a beurre blanc. And it's called Monte au beurre. And you're just kind of folding in that butter.
When it's blended, add double cream. Then pass through a fine sieve so it's smooth and velvety.
Now, to cook the parfait, I have here a loaf tin that's lined with a couple of layers of cling film, OK? Pour your parfait mixture into your loaf tin. We'll just sit a little piece of baking parchment on top of the liver. Then fold the cling film over. Get yourself a piece of tin foil. Pop that on the top.
Put the loaf tin into a larger tin half filled with hot water, known as a bain-marie. Then pop in the oven at 100 degrees fan for 35 to 40 minutes. Once it's cooked, it goes into the fridge to set up for 24 hours.
A little secret in the pub kitchen is a nice heated knife for a perfect slice. You can see it's got that gorgeous, lovely pink colour all the way through it now.
To complement the rich parfait, I'm serving it with the sweetness and acidity of port and plum chutney and pickles, alongside toasted brioche.
So from a little pot of livers that didn't look so great at the beginning, with a bit of effort, bit of energy, you end up with something that looks this good. Chicken liver parfait, bit of pickle, some chutney. Velvety, rich, smooth. That is beautiful.
And it's no wonder Parfait is one of the pub's best-selling starters.
So the checks come on for the duck liver parfait. And basically, they've been blended and frozen for 24 hours, so it's rock solid. Richard took the frozen container, goes into the machine, presses go, and this blade comes down and cuts through them all, churns them, purees them, so smooth, so amazing. Then with a spoon, take what's called a rocher, and just drop it onto a plate. And you can do it almost portion by portion, so every time he gets one on order, you can churn it. Parfait. You can see it's creamy, shiny, smooth, seasoned up with a little bit of pepper mix, with chutney on the side. Nice little piece, toasted brioche over it. Spread it on that, job done.
When it comes to the end of the meal, you want the perfect crescendo, but you also want it to look incredible. So this is a very simple and easy to make chocolate mousse, garnished up to look very, very pretty and appetizing. Start off by melting chocolate in a bowl that's set on a pan with some warm water in it. To that, I'm gonna add an espresso. An espresso. Oh, it's making the right noise. Look at that. So that smells amazing. Now, if you haven't got an espresso machine, it's no bother. You can make it with instant coffee, OK? Just quite strong and short.
When the chocolate's melted, add 2 egg yolks, stir and take off the heat.
Is chocolate always a must on a pub menu?
Chocolates are always a must, I think, on every menu. The moment you start building your dessert menu, the first thing you've got to think of is chocolate. What's the chocolate pudding? Because it's a go-to for everybody.
The base of my mousse is Italian meringue. Put 115 grams of caster sugar in a pan with a splash of water and heat till it reaches 118 degrees. Whisk 5 egg whites till they form soft peaks and pour in the hot sugar syrup.
You just whisk now, and that hot sugar cooks the egg whites. We want to whisk this until it's cool, which should probably take around about 5 to 10 minutes. Gonna add the first bit of this meringue to the chocolate. And then with my whisk, break it up a little bit. Then we'll add the next bit of meringue. You just kind of fold it together. swap it for a metal spoon, because the metal spoon folds, cuts, slices without beating all of the air out of the meringue. Just go careful not to spill chocolate mousse on your top.
Next in, lightly whipped double cream.
Just give it a tickle with the whisk. We're ready to put our mousses into bowls. And I need them to sit in the fridge for a minimum 3 hours, preferably overnight. For us, in a restaurant, it might be one of the first jobs that you do at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning is making chocolate mousse. So it works perfectly at home if you want to do it the day before for dinner parties. They're done, they sit in the fridge. But the next bit is garnishing them up, making them look super special.
I'm going to top the firm mousse with a spoon of soft cream. Whisk double cream with sugar and a splash of rum.
Next thing, coffee beans. Really strong and bitter. Pestle and mortar. Just give them a little bash.
Do you often like to mirror the ingredients in a dish with what you kind of garnish it with?
Yeah, I'm always thinking of where the flavour profiles have come. How do we then drive it? It's a phrase that I use in my head loads. I talk to the chefs about it quite a lot. It's always about flavour plus. Make it properly punchy. Then how do we make those points of difference? It's little extra percentages that just drive that flavour profile.
And I'm pushing the chocolate flavour with 2 more garnishes.
Cocoa powder and dark chocolate. That's going to be for grating, that's going to be for dusting. It's time pretty much to plate them up. I'm just going to give them a good covering with this cocoa powder all over the top. And then some of this pillowy soft cream. I'm not looking for one of those perfect rochers. I'm just looking for a nice little soft pillow. Then it's the ground up coffee. And then lastly, some really good quality dark chocolate. Great, all over the top. And that is it. You know that's going to be super decadent, super lovely, but at the same point, very light. It looks so inviting. And not only does that taste incredible, it looks fantastic. Even half eaten, it looks brilliant.
We push for everything coming out of this kitchen to taste amazing. But of course, looking good always has to be part of the deal too. Bon appetit. Welcome to my pub.
I love the banter, I love the people that are in kitchens, I love the way that they work, I love the energy, I love the noise.
This is the coach. So as you come in, down here is the bar, an open kitchen.
Behind you. 2 burger, 1 chip, sorry, please.
Pubs have been my life for over 20 years.
2 set chips history, please.
Join me behind the scenes of this one to meet the team who've made it a Michelin-starred success.
Any closer, we'll put a chef's jacket on you and an apron.
And to share our secrets for cooking and serving exceptional food.
If you're in a kitchen, it does feel like you're in this secret sect of people that just know something different to everybody else.
And for the first time, I'm going to open the doors to my test kitchen, where I'll create classic pub-style dishes you can cook at home.
Oh, look at that!
This time, we've got an amazing lunch special on the pub menu. Pork loin with collie cheese and pomme anna.
The skin is blistering and popping already.
To get this out to our guests, every chef on the team will have to pull together as one.
20 covers for lunch. Plates out, boys.
In my test kitchen, I'm flying solo with 3 dishes you can cook at home. Another mouth-watering pork dish.
That pork has got a lovely caramelisation on the outside.
A sharing starter of spicy pea and paneer fritters. And for pudding, crunchy pears with peanut brittle.
It's like the most beautiful piece of stained glass. Look.
All professional kitchens have one thing in common. There's a hierarchy to the staff back here.
Right, add fritter chips, please.
Yes, chef.
I own 4 pubs now. In technical terms, I'm the chef proprietor. Each pub has a head chef. At the Coach, it's Sarah.
Structure of a kitchen is so important. It's like a team of huskies trying to pull one sledge, and you've got that one lead husky, haven't you? And that's the head chef. And the rest of them have got to fall in line. And they are all trying to push to the front, but there is a sense of respect. There is a sense of hierarchy. The ones that are always going to be the most successful are the ones that want to drive themselves. I think a pub success is always driven by people wanting to be just a little bit better every single day.
Second in command is sous chef Rich.
It's gone. Let's go to 8, Yuri, please.
Then junior sous chef Christian. Next are the chef de parties like Adam, who cook the dishes on each section. And Holly is our commis chef apprentice. The commis chef is the first step on the ladder, doing, well, anything that's needed.
Christian, you want to try and keep your section really nice and tidy right now, yeah? Organised, clean, front of fridges, please.
This morning, each chef has their own specific job to do to get the lunch special ready. Our small plate version of a pork Sunday roast. Holly's prepping veg. Christian's on pomana, the potato element. And Sarah is in charge of the pork.
We get asked loads of chefs, what's the best way of getting good crackling on pork? And in all honesty, this is something that is a bit of a pub trick, and it's not really something that you can do at home. And what we've got here is a loin of pork. Pop it into the fryer basket, but hang it above the fryer. And then what Sarah does is just ladle the hot oil over the top. That's beginning to cook that outer skin, and then we'll roast it in the oven. So straight away, you've given that lovely skin a great head start. You have a little look here. This is almost ready to go into the oven, and the skin is blistering and popping already. Sarah seasons it in the oven, ready for lunch.
To make the pomana, Christian layers up potato slices, pressing them down as he goes.
Making sure that those potatoes flatten out. Probably takes in the best part of 25, 30 minutes to actually make it from start to finish, not slicing his fingers on the mandolin, just trying to make sure that everything is perfect so that when you come for lunch, roast pork and a bit of potatoes, but there's something, it's a little bit more.
Christian then pours melted butter over the potatoes and the dish is baked in the oven. It'll be sliced into portions and deep fried to order. Next jobs, Sarah roasts cauliflower florets and Christian makes the cheesy rarebit sauce they'll be served with. And with the team bang on schedule, the pork's ready to come out of the oven.
It looks like one giant, great big pork scratching, which is like, it's like the dream, isn't it? Like, except it's a big pork scratching with a lump of meat underneath. I mean, perfect.
We'll see our pork special plated up later. But first, I'm heading to my test kitchen.
Show me on.
To cook a starter you can easily make on your own.
I love a sharing starter, particularly in the pub. One of those sort of things are plates of food that people help themselves. And these, paneer and pea fritters, are exactly that. And this is paneer. It's an Indian cheese. So I'm just going to grate it. Think of it texturally wise as a cross between really firm mozzarella and feta cheese.
In a pan, heat vegetable oil, add cumin seeds and toast till they pop. Followed by a chopped onion.
Tom, how important is it to have those building blocks of different jobs in a kitchen?
When you start off at the bottom, you're learning to chop onions, to pick herbs, to put veg away tidily. So much of being a chef isn't just about the cooking, it's about the hard monotony and graft of repeated processes.
Leave the softened onions to cool. Add defrosted frozen peas to the grated paneer with a chopped green chilli, seeds removed.
Did you like the days of doing prep work when you were more junior in the kitchen?
I look back at those days with huge fondness. I used to work in a basement kitchen and I'd get in there at about 7:15 in the morning and go down the stairs, put all the veg away first thing, and then I'd work for it like a machine. Those were the days where the stress levels were about the box of veg and what you've got to do on the side and the list in front of you whilst facing a wall. Those were the days.
Add the chilli to the bowl, along with chopped coriander.
Then the little bit of spice. So this is chaat masala that's a bit like a curry powder, but it's got a bit more of a tang to it. That comes from dried, unripened mango.
Next in goes chickpea flour, better known as gram flour, followed by the onions and the cumin. Add a splash of water to the mix and make a dough.
Pub secret is this. Little crispy things go really nicely with beer. Deep fried stuff will sell. And why not? It's lush.
Now, drop spoonfuls of dough into the deep fat fryer. Out front in the main kitchen, this is the sort of job done by a chef de partie.
2 to 12.
After about 4 or 5 minutes, they're lovely golden brown. Just drain them into some kitchen roll and season them. Whilst they're hot, the salt just kind of stick to it and slowly dissolve in. Then repeat the process. It's something I love very much about being at the back here in the test kitchen, playing around with new dishes or ideas on my own. No one asking me if it's seasoned enough, and anything like that. I can just get on with cooking and making nice stuff. You could take that.
I'm serving the fritters with some mango chutney. Shh, out of a jar. Nothing wrong with a shortcut.
But obviously, you've got to test them just to make sure that they're okay. Yeah, they're good. So that is my paneer and pea fritters. Perfect little starter to share. Great on any menu in any pub. And really good at home.
And I've got 2 more dishes for you to try at home. Pork tenderloin cooked with an apple and Calvados sauce.
I'm from the Pork Appreciation Society.
And crunchy pears with peanut brittle. Today in the pub, it's all hands on deck making our amazing lunch special. Loin of pork with collie cheese and pomana. And while the team pull together on that,
Show me on.
I'm going it alone to show you a pork dish you can cook at home.
Big fan of pork in the pub. Pork medallions is really simple, really quick and easy for you to be able to do at home. You can have it with a nice, rich and creamy sauce. Start off by cutting the pork tenderloin into 6 pieces. We're then just going to give them a quick bash with a hammer. Flatten them out. Give them a little dusting and coating in flour. Now the point of that is so that when you fry them, you get a lovely kind of crisp outer edge.
Do you feel quite nostalgic about being a commie chef, or is it something you're happy to have left in the past?
No, they were absolutely great times. When you're starting off, you know exactly where you stand, and if you don't, you're told very, very quickly. In kitchens, it's just straight and honest, in some cases brutal. It's very vibrant, it's very exciting. It's a great place to be. In the pan here, I'm gonna put a little splash of oil. The pan's nice and hot. Gonna add a couple of knobs of butter. you can hear it stop bubbling. That's at the point where the pork tenderloins will go in. After a couple of minutes, that pork has got a lovely caramelisation on the outside. And just flip it over, cook it for another minute or two on the other side. You can see it's got this lovely crust. I can actually feel it, a little bit crispy. So I'm tapping it with my tongs. Take it out, and just leave it to rest.
I'm serving the pork with an apple and calvados sauce. Peel and chop a nice sharp Granny Smith. Classic commie chef job, this.
We did used to have a lot of orchards nearby where we grew up, just outside of the estate. And every now and then, we would steal a couple of apples. Test. Whichever way you want to call it.
Research for your future career.
That's exactly it, yeah. If it wasn't for those orchards, maybe I wouldn't be here now.
Roast the apples in the same pan with a squeeze of runny honey. When they've got a bit of colour, take them out and in the same pan again, sauté 2 diced shallots.
We're going to deglaze the pan with our first big splash of apple stuff. This is calvados, okay? So it's a brandy made with apples. We're going to flambe it, so it's going to go into the pan, create a great big flame. Everything's really, really exciting. And then we'll reduce it down, the flame will go away, which means we've cooked most of the alcohol away, but kept the flavour.
Add more apple flavour with cider and reduce again. Then add chicken stock, thyme, a glug of double cream, and finish with grainy mustard and Dijon mustard.
At this point, put our pork tenderloin medallions back into the sauce. Just give them a gentle warm through. And the apples as well. Just sit them there.
Tom, what's the most popular meat on your menu in the pub?
Best sellers in a pub, pretty much most of the time, is beef. But guys, come on. Pork for me is the best. I'm from the Pork Appreciation Society. And listen, you can have steak at any point. But when you go out to a restaurant, you see pork there, you should definitely order it. Some green beans and some mashed potato. Could I have that in, please, chef? Thank you.
And this is when you step up to the pass for your head chef moment.
Very, very simple. Beans on the side, some mashed potato, and then our lovely pork medallions. Coated in that mustard sauce. Couple of pieces, our caramelised apple. So there we go. Super tasty, absolutely delicious. Why don't you give it a go?
Back in the pub kitchen, orders are coming in for our pork lunch special. And it's a real team effort.
Checks come on for the pork, so what happens now is Sarah takes a good slice of that pork where it's been rested, then a secondary slice, puts it on the top so it doesn't dry out, and gently warm it through in the rotisserie. Whilst that's happening, Christian is then taking a pomana that's already portioned up and put into the deep fat fryer and frying that, as well as taking one of the pieces of roasted cauliflower, piping on top of that some of the cheese rare bit. That's then getting heated up and cooked, and that comes out, that gets blowtorch, you get this lovely kind of rare bit glaze on it. So first thing that goes onto the plate is a cauliflower cheese puree. Then the pork sits on the top. Then onto that, the pomana goes on, and so does the cauliflower cheese. And an amazing and very, very simple roasted pork sauce. And there you go. It's all about quality ingredients and letting the simple things sing for themselves.
Delicious. For my final dish, I'm headed back to the test kitchen to show you how to make a beautiful dessert. Crunchy pears with peanut brittle. In the pub, this would be another team effort, but don't worry. With me holding your hand, this will be a breeze to make at home.
Essentially, it's a baked pear. There's a little tip that we do in the pubs and the restaurants So once you've peeled your pear, you've got all these kind of shapes and marks of where you've actually peeled it. I'm going to show you how we get rid of them. Make the pear look lovely and round again. Once they're peeled, the next thing you need is one of these. It's a green scourer. Don't worry, you haven't got to do the washing up just yet. Cut it in half and then fold it over. It's a bit like kitchen-friendly sandpaper, look. Just rub the pear. It starts coming back to its beautiful natural shape, the ridges of the peel in them. You know how much pressure you can apply to it, which, if you've been a chef or you're cooking and you spend your whole time in kitchens, knowing how much pressure to apply to it, you can then translate that to how long it's going to take to cook in the oven. All of that understanding of touch and feel. Cooking is a very sensual job.
Tom, do you think cooking's an art or a science?
In all honesty, I think cooking's a trade. A bit like a builder or a carpenter. You understand building blocks of flavour, technique and skill sets. I think the science does come into it. There are some very artistic chefs out there, but I genuinely believe that the best cooks operate with a trade understanding. And you can see how beautiful these pears are. I'm just going to stick them on a tray. A little tip, if they're not sitting up straight, is trim the bottom, then they'll sit still. They won't move. Don't take too much off. Just want to square it up.
Drizzle the pears with melted butter mixed with caster sugar and allspice.
So these guys, they go into an oven now that's set at 190 degrees centigrade. I'm going to cook them for about 10 to 15 minutes.
While they're in the oven, I'm going to make the crunchy coating, starting by making a peanut brittle. Melt caster sugar in a dry pan and heat to a dark caramel.
Do not dip your finger in and taste it, all right? Just do not do that.
Add roasted, salted peanuts to the molten caramel and pour onto a tray to cool and set. Next, in a bowl, scrunch up some cornflakes.
Textures are so important, because they're the things that separate flavours in your mouth. How do I make that pear super exciting? Well, it's with texture, it's with crunch, it's with flavour from the spice mix or the peanuts. All those sort of things make a difference.
I'm adding more layers of flavour with milk powder, demerara sugar and melted butter. Put the mix onto a tray and bake for 25 minutes till toasted. Take the pears out of the oven when they're soft, but with a bit of texture in the middle.
Gonna finish with peanut brittle. So here, look. It's like the most beautiful piece of stained glass, look. Stained glass peanut. See me hand through it. Cooey. Lid on and blitz. Look at that. You know already that's going to taste amazing.
Take the cornflake mix out of the oven, leave to cool, then mix with the peanut brittle. Grate lemon zest over the cooled pears with a squeeze of lemon juice and a drizzle of golden syrup.
Gently pick up the pear, surround it in your crumb. And to finish it off, just a few little pieces of lemon thyme leaves.
All it needs alongside is some whipped vanilla creme fraiche.
It's a very simple looking but beautifully tasting pear dish. Crispy, crunchy, texturally different. It's just about perfect to go on the menu, which is just as well because I've got plenty of crumb left. Making its way into the restaurant.
And that's where I'm off now. to join my talented and hard-working chefs at the end of another brilliant day.
Thank you, chef. Coming through behind.
They're a right bunch of scallywags and pirates, and I absolutely love them. Welcome to my pub.
I love the banter, I love the people that are in kitchens, I love the way that they work, I love the energy, I love the noise.
This is the coach. So as you come in, down here is the bar, an open kitchen.
Behind you. 2 burger, 1 chip, sorry, please.
Pubs have been my life for over 20 years.
2 set chips history, please.
Join me behind the scenes of this one to meet the team who've made it a Michelin-starred success.
Any closer, we'll put a chef's jacket on you and an apron.
And to share our secrets for cooking and serving exceptional food.
If you're in a kitchen, it does feel like you're in this secret sect of people that just know something different to everybody else.
And for the first time, I'm going to open the doors to my test kitchen, where I'll create classic pub-style dishes you can cook at home.
Oh, look at that!
This time, how to delight diners with crowd-pleasing dishes. Is it going to be better than my mum's? I reveal the secrets behind the most nostalgic pudding on our menu, Treacle tart.
The star of the show is that tart, looking that tight, that sharp.
In my test kitchen, I'll show you a cherry bakewell tart, which also brings back happy memories.
This was actually on the menu in that pub when it achieved 2 Michelin stars.
Plus, I'll be creating a show-stopping fish pie with lattice pastry topping.
I reckon it deserves a round of applause, that.
I've also got a quick and easy sharing starter you can make at home. Hot honey chicken wings.
You'd be fighting over those.
Everything we do in the pub has one simple aim: to give our guests a great time. Lourdes has worked front of house with me for 18 years.
How many have we got on the book for lunch?
We have 45 for lunch. 12:30 BCS time, right now.
Right now, I'll get out of the way.
Hello, coming in.
It's a nice full service today, so there'll be a good buzz in the kitchen.
When our front of house team takes an order, it's punched into a terminal on the bar. Then the order automatically prints out in the appropriate section of the kitchen.
That's the noise. It's the noise of service. When the check comes on, everybody knows what their job is. And all those noises start the adrenaline going. Everybody starts feeling that stuff's happening.
And one dish guaranteed to get the order machine buzzing is the Coach Treacle tart, which sous chef Rich is making today.
You come here and you have treacle tart in a pub with a Michelin star, you go, is it going to be better than my mum's? Yeah. Like I hope it's better than your mum's, because if it's not, maybe your mum should be working the pastry section. This treacle tart is a little bit different. When I had it as a kid, it was a way of using leftovers. But what we've done here is think about that process. What is it about treacle tart that tastes amazing? What is it that we all love? And then how do we make it special?
The solution was to reinvent this classic as a set custard tart with the chewiness and flavour of treacle tart.
So in here, Rich has put a mixture of double cream, eggs, treacle, golden syrup, but instead of leftover breadcrumbs that just gets folded through, we've got some soft brioche crumb with some lemon zest, some orange zest, just to lift everything. Now we're going to cook it
at 50 degrees in one of these heated blenders, and it just kind of churns it and cooks it and blitz it and makes it into like a smooth custard.
Do you normally use a soup bowl on top of your mixer?
No, normally on top of the mixer we have the actual lid. It's gone into the pot wash, never ever to be seen again. So now we put on top whatever is closest, and in this case, it's a soup bowl. Rich, can you pass this to tart case? So this is the tart case, blind baked, so it's already crisp and crunchy, but we've also got bran flakes through it as well. And it just brings that kind of bready style flavour that we're looking for from that treacle tart custard mix. So you can stick that in the oven, Rich.
The tart case is put in the oven ready for filling.
This is finished blending now. This is a bit of a pub tip for you. Rich is going to take the jug with the mix to the oven rather than carry the whole tart case. It's a lot easier to pour it from that rather than carrying a tart.
The way we bake the tart gives it another texture surprise. Rich leaves the oven door open for 5 minutes while the custard mix settles.
And the bubbles that rise to the top just gives it this lovely little crust. That cooks for 45 minutes, about 120 degrees, and it'll be just set up really nicely, just in time for lunch.
As more guests arrive, I'm going to get out of the team's way and nip back to my test kitchen to show you my version of a favourite pub main course.
Crowd pleasers always have to be on the menu. One of the best ones that you'll find in a pub kitchen is fish pie. Normally you put mashed potato on the top, but actually I'm going to do mine with a lattice pastry topping.
Start by making the pie filling. Melt butter in a pan, add sliced leeks and a pinch of salt and sauté till soft. In a separate pan, melt butter, add flour and make a roux.
So normally that white bechamel sauce that goes in a fish pie is just made with milk. But actually, I'm going to try and intensify that fish flavour using some fish stock. So the milk and the fish stock get gently warmed up together.
Stir the liquid into the roux till smooth. Pour into a bowl and season with lemon zest and grated nutmeg. Chop flat leaf parsley and tarragon.
I just love the way that a pie is almost a meal all on its own. You've got your protein, vegetables, carbs, all in one thing. I mean, it's a ready-made meal, isn't it? I love pies. I think they're brilliant. Whilst that bechamel sauce is cooling down, I'm just going to pop out and see how the team are doing.
These going in for the garnish?
They are going to get it to glaze in a little bit of balsamic in a second, chef.
Right, OK.
OK, when bechamel has cooled down, then into that I'm just going to add the chopped herbs. In the bottom of each pie dish, I'm going to put a little leek mattress, something for the fish to sit on.
I'm putting a mix of fish in my pie. Salmon, cod and smoked haddock, cut into bite-sized chunks, topped with prawns.
If I hadn't been a chef, I've always fancied being a fisherman. I've been quite lucky. I've been out into the North Sea catching cod and pollock and hake on one of those boats that go out for 3 or 4 days. You know you're at sea when you're in the North Sea, that's for certain. In a normal job, you're never going to go out in a boat. I mean, it's amazing. And then our thickened white sauce, going to divide that equally between the 4 pies. This now goes into the fridge. Going to leave it to chill for a bit. And whilst that's happening, I'm going to make my lattice puff pastry tops. Now, the thing about making a lattice topping is it's very difficult to do on top of the pie. You have to kind of structure it first. So you take puff pastry, I'm going to layer 6 strips down, and then just kind of gently plait it together. And this is a great place to do it at the back here. It's a bit cooler than the main kitchen. Pop that onto a tray.
I've got 4 to make in all. Take your time, make it nice. Next, I'm making an egg wash for the pastry with a secret ingredient. Take 2 egg yolks and add a splash of double cream.
So the yolks glaze and they work as a glue as well and will help seal the lid down. But the double cream will help give a deeper, darker, richer colour. It's a bit of a pub secret that you can have for free.
Brush the edges of the pie dish with the egg wash, then flip the pastry onto the pie. Seal the pastry lid by tucking over the excess and brush the top with more egg glaze.
I'm going to stick these in, preheated oven, 200 degrees centigrade, fairly hot, because you want that puff pastry to cook and rise up just a little bit, for around about 25 minutes to half an hour.
Oh, look at them.
I reckon it deserves a round of applause, that. That is a crowd pleaser.
And there are more crowd pleasers to come. A cherry bakewell with fond memories for me. And a firm favourite with guests and chefs. Hot and sticky fried chicken wings.
Don't think I could get away with eating all of these on my own.
In the pub kitchen, we're making our crowd-pleasing treacle tart. We want it to be the best our guests have ever eaten. The proof will be in the pudding when it's served up later. But first, I've got another fantastic tart that you can make at home.
I love cherries when they're in season. And that classic mix of cherries and frangipan brings you to the conclusion of cherry bakewell tart.
This dish is packed with my pub kitchen tricks. And the first one, roasting the stone fruit with cherry brandy.
I'm just going to bake these in an oven. What will happen is that quite intense heat will begin to dehydrate the cherries. The cherry brandy will evaporate, so they're going to be juicy, but also have a little bit of chew on them and a really intense flavour.
Next, the frangipan filling. Cream butter and icing sugar together. Add ground almonds, 2 eggs, plain flour, and a splash of dark rum.
I'm going to leave that to one side, a quick clear down, take my cherries out of the oven, then I can come back, get on with my puff pastry. So I've got a piece of shop-bought round puff pastry. I'm going to put this frangipan into the middle and start working my way around.
Spread the frangipan across the pastry about 1 centimetre thick, leaving a 3 centimetre border around the outside and dot with the baked cherries.
The reason why we left that kind of 3 centimetre gap and rim around the outside is we're going to crimp the pastry. What this does is it gives the tart a lovely border, fold the pastry over on top of itself. This used to be one of the first desserts that we had on the menu in the first pub, but it wasn't done with cherries, it was done with apple. We bake it fresh every morning and then another one in the afternoon.
Slide the tart onto a baking tray and dust with icing sugar.
Has this dish got a fond place in your heart then?
Yeah, this really has got a fond place in my heart. This was actually on the menu in that pub when it achieved 2 Michelin stars. Just goes to show that frangipan and beautiful fruit is a great combination. I need a pastry brush. There we go. This is a 2 Michelin star dessert that people can do at home. And it's about practice. Brush around the outside of the tart. You want the sugar that's on the pastry to caramelise and cook. Now this goes into an oven, 200 degrees centigrade, for around about 20-25 minutes, Just keep an eye on it.
When the top's nicely caramelised, take the tart out of the oven. Put parchment paper on the top and flip it onto a second baking tray so it's upside down. And dust with more icing sugar.
The point of this is so I can get a nice crispy bottom on the tart. This is a nice little pub secret.
Give it another 20 minutes, baking upside down.
Bit of paper onto the bottom of the tart. Then the chopping board that I'm going to cut it on sits on top and then flip over. And then we go all over the top, a very deep layer, like snow yet again, of icing sugar. And then with a blowtorch, melt the sugar in, give it a lovely glaze. Any excuse really to get the blowtorch out. That is a proper crowd pleaser. To serve with it, got some gorgeous clotted cream here. Very simple looking, but absolutely delicious. Might be time for this to go back on the menu.
Out front in the pub, orders are coming in for our treacle tart.
So what happens is Rich trims it all up, makes it look sharp and tight and clean, takes those pastry edges off it. When you slice it, it's almost got that lovely toffee-like texture.
So all of the little end bits, I just stick the tart down on the plate so that when it's going to a table, it doesn't slide off.
That simply goes onto the plate, a little bit flaky sea salt on the top. Star of the show was that tart, looking that tight, that sharp, with some Cornish clotted cream. And then here it comes, two things on a plate. The one thing I like, we went to that process of trying to get that lovely crust on the top of the tart. And clotted cream has the same sort of thing, where it's been baked in a tray, really low and slow and gentle, just forms that lovely crust. Exactly the same as that treacle tart.
A round of applause for Chef Rich. That is pudding perfection. Back in my test kitchen, I'm finishing off with a finger-licking favourite you can make at home.
One thing that is always a crowd pleaser, and it's a great starter, is chicken wings, and you can't go wrong with them. Here, can I have the chicken wings, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay, chicken wings. Now, these are the 2 joint ones, so I'm just going to cut them in half through that kind of knuckle that holds them together.
To tenderise them, marinate in a mix of onion powder, garlic powder, seasoning and buttermilk.
Massage all those flavours and that buttermilk together in with the chicken wings.
Marinate them in the fridge for at least 8 hours, while starting the hot spicy glaze. Heat runny honey with chili flakes and leave to infuse. Next job, some easy homemade pickles.
Now, you've got to do these at least 2 to 4 hours before you need them. So the more you can do and stay ahead of things, it does make a big, big difference. Now, the pickle mix starts with water and white wine vinegar, 150 mils each. Then into that, 80 grams of sugar. Bring it up to the boil with a good pinch of salt.
Trim and slice baby cucumbers and pack into a sterilised jar. Once the pickling liquid's boiled, take off the heat and pour into the jar. Seal and pop in the fridge.
I'm just going to finish off my honey glaze. Bring it back up to temperature to make it nice and runny. I'm going to pass it through the sieve, just get rid of those hot chili flakes.
Back on the heat, and add more flavour with a splash of cider vinegar and a couple of teaspoons of hot sauce. When it boils, add a big knob of butter.
Is this the kind of food that chefs really love to eat?
This is 100% the food that chefs love to eat. If you've got a whole chicken in and you're using the breast and the legs for something, the wings, if you're not using them in the pub, stick them in the freezer, wait till there's enough there. It's half tea special. Chefs love it. Can someone come and clear this? Thank you. The chicken wings are going to get a shaggy, crunchy coating that you put all over it. And that comes from 2 different flours, plain flour and corn flour.
Mix equal amounts of the two and season with garlic powder and smoked paprika and give the wings a good coating.
And these guys I'm going to drop into a fryer, 170 degrees centigrade. I'm going to cook them for about 8 to 10 minutes.
When they're crisp and golden, pop them on a tray lined with kitchen paper.
Look at that, they look fantastic, don't they? Little sprinkling of salt, and then pile them up into a bowl. Then get some of our lovely spicy hot honey glaze and just drizzle it all over those chicken wings. And then finish it off. I've got some spring onion and some sliced red chilli. Garnish it up with a few of these crispy, crunchy pickled cucumbers. So there we have it. Crunchy on the outside, lovely and tender, juicy, delicious in the middle. That, stuck in the middle of the table. I mean, to be honest, it wouldn't last long, would it? You'd be fighting over those. I don't think I could get away with eating all of these on my own. Give some to the chefs.
After 2 busy services, this lot could do with a treat. Because a happy team in the kitchen makes for happy guests out front. Welcome to my pub.
I love the banter, I love the people that are in kitchens, I love the way that they work, I love the energy, I love the noise.
This is the coach. So as you come in, down here is the bar, an open kitchen.
Behind you. 2 burger, 1 chip, sorry, please.
Pubs have been my life for over 20 years.
2 set chips history, please.
Join me behind the scenes of this one to meet the team who've made it a Michelin-starred success.
Any closer, we'll put a chef's jacket on you and an apron.
And to share our secrets for cooking and serving exceptional food.
If you're in a kitchen, it does feel like you're in this secret sect of people that just know something different to everybody else.
And for the first time, I'm going to open the doors to my test kitchen, where I'll create classic pub-style dishes you can cook at home.
Oh, look at that!
This time, we create the dishes we call flavour bombs. In the pub kitchen, we're making a punchy starter of salt cod Scotch eggs.
Absolutely over-delivers with flavour then.
Like flavour hand grenades. And in my test kitchen, I've got a delicious smoked salmon version you can make at home. A classic British main course gets a spicy reboot with my sagaloo-topped cottage pies.
Proper noisy explosion that's going on of taste and of texture.
And for dessert, I perform a magic trick with a creme brulee.
It actually tastes like you're not doing a naughty thing.
Let's go to 8 Huey, please.
Every item on the menu in my pub is driven by flavour. But some dishes really take it to the max, what we call our flavour bombs. And one that's been blasting off our menu for years is a Spanish-inspired salt cod Scotch egg with chorizo and red pepper.
This dish originated in the original first pub just down the road. We'd get whole cod in and you'd get your lovely cod fillet portions. And then what happens with the rest of the trim? So we would salt it and flavour it and season it up with Pernod, olive oil, salt, saffron, and leave it to marinate. So this cod would take on this incredible colour, an amazing, deep, really strong, beautiful flavour.
A lot of flavour in a little package.
A lot of flavour in a little package. And I thought, do you know what? Actually, this would work really nicely as a Scotch egg. We want the egg in the middle to be lovely and soft. So we thought, right, small egg, quail, but how long do we deep fry it for so that it gets warm in the middle but doesn't overcook? And then if you don't make them exactly the same size every time, if they're not the same weight, so if the fryer temperature is slightly higher and the weight is a bit less, then they're going to overcook. Or if the fryer temperature is a little bit lower and the weight is bigger, then they're not going to be warm in the middle. And then we've got to work all through those processes.
And once we'd finally cracked the formula, this recipe's remained largely unchanged. After curing the cod in salt, Pernod and saffron, sous chef Alex mixes it with mashed potato.
We're always trying to drive something that's really quite interesting, powerful, strong. I mean, it really is quite salty, quite saffrony. You know, that cod has taken on a lovely texture as well where it's been cured. So it's, you know, it's got this massive flavour bomb kick to it. Each one is coming to a weight of 70 grams, so you weigh the egg, because each egg is different. What are they, Al? That is 12 grams, but the next one might be 15. And then you go, right, then you'll add the potato mix onto it, make sure it reaches 70 grams, and then you wrap the egg very, very gently, kind of form a little patty in your hand. Don't squeeze too hard, you've got to get it wrapped up, because if you squeeze too hard, the egg will pop in the middle. And then we put them into the fridge, let them chill for 20 minutes, half an hour, and then we can pane them. Flour, egg, breadcrumbs, ready for service and deep frying. And we serve it with beautiful red pepper sauce. And then on top of that, very simply, a grilled piece of chorizo. So it's a real nod to Spain.
How many of these has Alex done?
Thousands, yeah, I know that. Thousands.
Used to sell. As soon as you used to put them on the menu, you'd probably sell in a night maybe 40.
We would just be ordering whole sides of cod in to just be making the Scotch eggs. It suddenly became not about using, you know, bits of leftover and how do we utilise everything that comes into the kitchen. This was like, right, we just order loads of cod.
Victim of its own success.
Exactly that, yeah.
We'll see what the finished dish looks like later in service.
Coming through behind.
But first, I'm heading to the test kitchen to show you a dish with a flavour twist you can make at home.
Thank you very much. Okay, flavour bombs. What little tricks and tips can we use to add different layers of flavour, like coats of paint? So this is individual Sagaloo cottage pie. This is a vegetarian-friendly dish, super tasty. If you're a meat eater, it makes no difference. This you are going to love.
Like any cottage pie, I'm starting by sweating onions in a pan for a few minutes.
That's the first layer, that's the first coat. Sweated down onions.
Next flavour layer into the pan, diced carrots.
Now my thought process behind this dish is if I'm not going to use minced beef, what can I use texturally? What's really good vegetarian-friendly food? Lentils. And then I started thinking of Indian cuisine. I remember as a kid, my mum used to put a teaspoon of curry powder in a cottage pie. And I just loved that warm little sense of spice, which then led me to going, well, instead of doing a mash top, I could do something with potato and spinach, a bit like a sagaloo.
Add diced celery, followed by grated garlic and a chopped red chilli.
Next thing that's going to go in is our curry kind of flavours. Now, this isn't a straight curry powder, this is garam masala. Now, garam masala is a type of curry mix, but it's not hot, it's just warming. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of garam masala.
Tom, what's your go-to curry order?
I quite like fairly hot. slow-cooked lamb dishes. A proper classic vindaloo where it's been cooked with lots of vinegar in it. I do like a bit of spice.
Next, layers of flavour: tomato puree, a tin of tomatoes, and a tin of coconut milk. Followed by beluga lentils.
Now these are already pre-cooked. You can buy them in those little packets in the supermarket. They work really nicely for this. I'm going to let it gently simmer away, cook for around about 10 to 15 minutes, which gives me enough time to get them with my sagaloo topping.
In a pan, heat oil and butter. Then add cumin seeds and mustard seeds and cook till they pop. Next, add half a teaspoon of turmeric.
They're slightly darker spices. They come from like the evil side of the spice range. They're not powerful in terms of heat, but they're very powerful in terms of how much they offer.
Throw in diced cooked potatoes and turn them in the spicy butter.
So that, I've got some baby spinach. I'm going to put it on the top and then turn the heat off. And that spinach will just wilt down into the potatoes, give another layer of freshness. It's another flavour bomb. Pinch of salt, nice bit of seasoning. My one tip for cooking, particularly dishes like this, where you're looking at driving flavour, is do not be scared of the amount of spice you're using, how much salt and pepper to use. Just go for it. Now I'm going to serve this into 4 individual portions. You can imagine doing this at home with one great big vegetarian-style cottage pie. For a pub, you've got to serve it as individual portions. And if you want to, you can leave them to cool, or you can put your sagaloo topping straight on. These are going to go into an oven now, 200 degrees centigrade, for around about 15 minutes, and they'll start caramelising and crisping up on the top. And then for the last 5 minutes, I'm going to put them under a grill. Look at those. For me, there is nothing better than a cottage pie. But this is one with a big difference. Oh, it's rich. It's so tasty. It's like a proper noisy explosion that's going on of taste and of texture. It's a proper crossover between lovely Indian cuisine and amazing British, wholesome, hearty cottage pies. What more do you want?
I've got 2 more flavour bombs I'm going to drop. A coriander and salmon scotch egg that you can make at home.
Hot scotch egg, absolutely outstanding.
And a creme brulee with an exciting secret flavour. In the pub kitchen today, we're hoping to delight our guests with Spanish-inspired salt cod scotch eggs with chorizo and red pepper. These will be cooked to order in service. But first, I've got a tasty version with smoked salmon, which you can cook at home.
Now, a scotch egg, in my view, needs to be straight out the fryer, really lovely and crispy on the outside, warm, but with still a runny yolk in the middle. Now, the way to do that is to soft boil your eggs first. Make sure the water is boiling before you put the eggs in. Cook them for 6 minutes, put them into iced water, and that stops that cooking process. And they should still be just a little bit soft, a bit boingy look.
I'm using hen's eggs for these scotch eggs, more substantial than the quail's egg version in the pub. Next job is making the fish and potato coating. Heat oil in a pan and add black mustard seeds and cumin seeds for a touch of spice. Followed by a diced onion and a pinch of salt.
Tell me about your love of bar snacks, like sausage rolls, scotch eggs, pork pies.
They are really something to celebrate. It's gone beyond my childhood where they used to just be cold and just a bit boring and dull. Now the idea of having scotch eggs or sausage rolls hot from the oven, really exciting flavours that go through the sausage mix in the sausage roll, And that could be the same thing around a Scotch egg. Mix it up, play with flavours. Smoked salmon. 2 more spices go in. Half a teaspoon of Kashmiri ground chilli. That has got a lovely warm spice to it. And 1 teaspoon of curry powder. Cook it out for a minute or 2. And then, got here some garlic and a big piece of ginger. I'm just going to grate them both into the pan. Turn the heat off and we're ready to put this into our potato mix. Now you can make it by boiling the potatoes and then mashing them, or even baking it and scooping the insides out and mashing them. No added butter to it, not like normal where you pour in a load of cream and milk and butter.
Grate the zest of a lime into the potato, followed by chopped coriander and the spicy onion mix.
Next thing to go into the mix is our salmon. I've got 2 types. I've got raw, just straight normal salmon, and some smoked salmon. There's a lovely subtlety of flavour that comes from smoked salmon, but it still has that delicious, rich, kind of fat content that comes with it that works so nicely for a Scotch egg.
Gently fold the fish and potato together till combined. We don't want to mash it up. The next job's a bit messy, so I'm wearing gloves. Divide the mix into 6, then shape round each egg carefully and evenly before paneing them. Flour, egg wash and breadcrumbs.
Now these are the Japanese-style panko breadcrumbs. They're super crispy and crunchy, and then they will stick onto the egg and give it an amazing kind of hedgehog-like coating. Now, the biggest pub secret of all is when you're doing something like this, you end up making such a mess, you get somebody else to do the washing up. Here you go, Chief, if you take that. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Is there more?
No, that's it. That's it.
Stick the eggs in the fridge till you're ready to cook. Remember, you want to serve them as soon as they come out of the fryer.
And you can deep fry 4 of these. 170 degrees centigrade for around about 6 to 8 minutes. Nice and crispy and crunchy on the outside. Lovely soft egg in the middle. You're going to just heat the middle of the egg and the fish will be nicely cooked. Ready for this? It's the moment of truth. Oh, look at that. Lovely and warm, runny yolk. And to serve that with some of this gorgeous Japanese-style mayonnaise. And a couple of lime wedges. Oh, full warm.
And there you have it, my delicious smoked salmon Scotch egg.
Looks a little bit like a hand grenade, doesn't it? It's a proper flavour bomb.
Number 5 out. Yeah, I've got those.
Back in the pub, 2 tables have ordered the Scotch egg, and the team leap into action.
Christian, went to Scotch, please.
Yeah.
Christian takes the Scotch eggs, drops them in the fryer. And we know the exact weight of the eggs. We know the temperature of the fryer. They will take 2 minutes. How long is on that timer, Christian?
1 minute 45, Chef.
In the meantime, there's some red pepper puree to go in the bottom of the bowl. That's the timer. Scotch eggs come out. So after 2 minutes in the fryer, they've got a lovely crispy outer coating. Now they go into the oven to finish that warming process for another 2 minutes.
Then Christian plates up the dish. Egg on top of the puree and chorizo on top of the egg. Simple, but beautiful.
There we are. Scotch eggs are in and up. Absolutely over-delivers with flavour. Ready to go to the table. That looks amazing.
Back in the test kitchen, I've got one more recipe where I'm pushing flavour to the max. And it's a belter of a pudding.
I love classic puddings, but I love putting a twist on them. And a great way of doing that is the use of herbs into desserts. So my final flavour bomb recipe today is a lemon verbena creme brulee. Lemon verbena. It just smells so distinctive. It's so individual, you can't get it confused with anything. And it goes really nicely with sweetness and sugars. I'm going to start by heating up my double cream.
You can buy lemon verbena leaves from some supermarkets and online, or better still, buy a plant from a garden centre. While the cream's heating, whisk together 4 eggs and 40 grams of caster sugar.
Then the hot cream goes onto the eggs and the sugar. And give it a good whisk. Then we're going to pour this custard mix back into the pan. Just going to stir. And those eggs will gently start cooking, and we're going to take them up to a temperature of 86 degrees centigrade. Whilst that cream is gently heating up, to a bowl, I'm going to put the lemon verbena. When you bruise it, it releases the natural oils and the smell. And then going to grate the zest of 1 lemon onto the top of it.
When the custard reaches 86 degrees, strain onto the lemon verbena. Cover with cling film and leave to infuse and cool. Then pass it through a sieve a second time, squeezing all the flavour from the verbena.
Empty your cream to a jug blender. And this is a little pub secret. An extra blend, so it gives it a little bit of aeration. You don't want to over whisk it. It's a little blend, make it nice and smooth. And pour into your ready to go moulds, and then we'll set it up in the fridge, uncovered, for around about 20 minutes, and then you can cling film them. In total, this will take about 2 to 3 hours to set up. Okay, can you get this cleared away, please? Thank you.
Once the cream is fully set, it's the fun bit, the brulee.
Get your sugar, sprinkle it over nice and evenly, and just let it sit for a minute or two. Another pub secret on the top of the cream, just so that any moisture begins to soak into that sugar, and it will soften it. And it means that those sugar granules will start working a bit like a caramel when you hit them with a blowtorch. I absolutely love a blowtorch. And the best way of doing these is just gentle heat, like little strokes around the outside. Just let the sugar know that you're there. Wake it up.
Final touch, some caramelised lemon segments to garnish. And that's it. My simple play on a classic creme brulee.
Crispy and crunchy on the top. Rich, oozy, gooey custard underneath. It actually tastes like you're not doing a naughty thing. The herb and the lemon make it feel really fresh and healthy, which of course it is.
Hello, good afternoon.
Our guests know they're in for a flavour treat when they come here. And you can apply the same boldness at home. Big flavours pay off, my friends. Welcome to my pub.
I love the banter, I love the people that are in kitchens, I love the way that they work, I love the energy, I love the noise.
This is the coach. So as you come in, down here is the bar, an open kitchen.
Behind you. 2 burger, 1 chip, sorry, please.
Pubs have been my life for over 20 years.
2 set chips crispy, please.
Join me behind the scenes of this one to meet the team who've made it a Michelin-starred success.
Any closer, we'll put a chef's jacket on you and an apron.
And to share our secrets for cooking and serving exceptional food.
If you're in a kitchen, it does feel like you're in this secret sect of people that just know something different to everybody else.
And for the first time, I'm going to open the doors to my test kitchen, where I'll create classic pub-style dishes you can cook at home.
Oh, look at that!
This time, when it comes to ingredients, quality matters. In the pub, we're cooking a king oyster mushroom risotto with a difference.
Like it's a risotto, but with no rice.
While in my test kitchen, I'm using the same amazing mushrooms in a risotto you can cook at home.
I mean, the only thing that makes it not perfect is I'm not sat in Tuscany watching the sun go down.
Plus, treating simple ingredients with respect is key to my starter, crab and broad beans on toast.
I can promise you now, it tastes amazing.
And pairing back a strawberry cheesecake makes this dessert sing.
That strawberry really is the star of the show.
In my pub, we want to showcase top quality ingredients in all our dishes. And part of that is actually displaying great produce to our guests, to inspire and guide them.
So this is the meat aging fridge. And we use it, obviously, to age meat. You know, we've got 4 ribs of beef that are dry aging in there, and they'll be in there for a week. And the way that the air circulates through this fridge helps that dry aging process. It removes that moisture. But also, it's glass fronted. So from a guest point of view, when they come through the door, seeing the produce, they can go, oh God, that beef looks lovely, or the quails, and seeing the work that's gone into them, ready for roasting on the rotisserie, and the burgers as well that are sat at the top there, ready to go onto the plancha. There's that lovely connection between raw, the menu, cooking, and then the finished product. So there's all parts of the journey that the guests can sit there and relate to.
Our passion for quality ingredients extends beyond meat and fish. In one of our most celebrated dishes, mushrooms are the star.
So these things are a great big king oyster mushroom. They've got wonderful firm texture, and we thought, let's make it into a risotto, but a risotto with a difference. And it's a big difference. Like it's a risotto, but with no rice. It's actually all about the mushrooms because of the texture. You can cook it and it keeps its shape.
As well as having the perfect texture, it also has an amazing savoury umami flavour when cooked. The dish itself is named after the person who inspired it. But there's a twist in that tale.
It's named after a great French chef and a really good friend of mine, a guy called Claude Bozy. So I saw Claude do a dish with celeriac, and it was diced celeriac with celeriac stock and cooked out just like a risotto. I thought, that's a lovely idea. I thought, well, we're going to put it on the menu. We'll give it a nod to Claude, you know, thank him for his technique that he showed us. It now turns out that it wasn't even Claude that come up with it. It came from a great French chef called Alain Passard. So it should be mushroom risotto Alain Passard, but we can't change the name now.
First, we prepare the king oyster mushrooms, meticulously dicing them into small, identically sized cubes, before sweating them down slowly in butter. The processes involved in making this dish are very restaurant-y. It's not really something you'd knock up at home.
And if we do a box of king oysters, how long does it take to get to that point?
We do like 4 kilos in 5 hours.
5 hours. However long, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's until it's cooked, isn't that right, Ad? Low and slow. You cook it all the way till it looks like that, all right? Then when it's like that, keep it to one side because now we're going to mix it with some puree. Now that puree, the thing that kind of holds it together is this. Now these are button mushrooms. What have they got in them, Ads?
Cream and salt.
That's it. Simple. Those mushrooms just cooked whole with cream, pinch of salt. Salt again draws that kind of moisture out of it. Boiled up and cooked until the mushrooms are soft. Then they get blended. There was the lid on it today. Oh, look at that. It's a little metal Dario mould today. Did we run out of soup bowls?
No, chef.
So once that puree is finished spraying out the top and all over the wall, Adam then clears up and he'll pass the puree through a sieve into a container. First rule of a top kitchen is pass everything. Gonna weigh the tiny little dice, and then you'll put the equal part of puree onto it. That goes in the blast chiller now, cools down, then into the fridge ready for service. Whilst Adam's away, I'll show you his secret fridge. In here, he has his sliced mushrooms. He has his mushroom puree. He's got diced mozzarella. He's got chopped chives. And he's got grated parmesan. And this is not a pub secret. It's a hospitality thing that every kitchen does this. You have all your prep. Everything is called mise en place, ready to go. That then makes service a lot easier.
I'll check in with my chefs later when they plate up the dish at lunch service. But first, I'm heading to my test kitchen. I want to show you how just 2 high-quality ingredients can transform a simple dish into something magical.
So much about cooking, and particularly when it comes to starters, is quality produce always, always, always wins the day.
And the quality ingredients in this dish are crab and broad beans, served on toast.
There's something about broad beans. They've got a great big kind of outer casing and shell that you then have to open up. But the return in flavour, I think, is absolutely fantastic. Now I'm going to blanch these broad beans in some salted boiling water for a couple of minutes.
Then scoop them out, drop them into ice water, and you can easily slip the beans from their grey skins.
You just kind of squeeze that outer skin, break it, and then pot it. It goes from something matte, kind of dull hue on it, to vibrant, bright, green, freshly cooked, beautiful.
Do you think a lot of people eat them with those chewy skins on and just think broad beans are rubbish?
Definitely. A lot of people go, nah, broad beans ain't for me, mate. Swerve them, I'll just stick to me peas. But actually, if you put a little bit of effort into your broad beans, they're great. OK, there's a kitchen porter about.
Are you finished with this?
Thank you very much.
Next job, slice peeled tomato and shallots into perfect dice.
Petals into strips. And you cut those strips from vertical to horizontal. And then slice through.
2 final ingredients before we put the dish together. Sliced garlic and marjoram leaves.
Marjorine's got this lovely kind of fragrant floral smell. Sometimes maybe even a little bit, I mean, it's going to sound bad, it's a bit soapy, but it's delicious with broad beans.
Just like Chef Adam back in the pub kitchen, I've got all my mise en place ready to put the dish together.
In a large pan, I'm going to heat up some really nice rapeseed oil. And then once that's warm, the shallots go in. Just stir them around, let them soften. Just a touch. Then add all of your sliced garlic. Don't go in too early because you don't want it to burn. Next in goes the picked white crab meat. Then when that's warm, we add the broad beans. Wonderful little marbles and jewels of freshness and spring summertime vibe.
Finishing touches, brown crab meat, the diced tomato, the marjoram and zest of a lemon. Season and bring the dish together with red wine vinegar and rapeseed oil.
And then, if you're in this kitchen, You bring somebody else in to taste it, because I got a shellfish allergy. See if the seasoning's right. Chef, just try that and tell me if it's enough salt and pepper.
Delicious.
We're good. And you just get your crab, pile it up onto the toast. Little flecks of the green and the red, the tomato. All that effort, all that care, all that consideration into great ingredients to turn something super simple looking, I can promise you now, tastes amazing. Someone else told me.
Luckily for me, I've still got 2 dishes to show you that I can taste. My version of a mushroom risotto with rice and a simply stunning strawberry cheesecake. Today in the pub kitchen, king oyster mushrooms are the star ingredient in our mushroom risotto, Claude Bosey. A risotto with no rice. But before we see that served up, I've got a risotto you can make at home that does use rice and features the same top quality ingredient to make it super special.
So this is a king oyster mushroom risotto with crispy sage and some fried mushrooms to go on the top.
And this version also has a mushroom cream stirred through it. Start with quartered button mushrooms and double cream in a pan.
And just as this comes up to the boil, I'm going to turn the heat down and put the lid on. I'm going to add to it some diced king oyster mushrooms.
Why have you picked so many different mushrooms to go in this recipe?
I remember when I was a kid, the only ones that you used to have were like button mushrooms or those great big like field mushrooms. And you get all sorts now. Cultivated mushrooms, like these guys. And I'm going to use these to garnish another oyster mushroom. We've got pink, yellow, standard, chestnut, and then some of these shiitake mushrooms. These, I think, are actually my favourite because they've got this incredible chewy-like texture, and I really like that. Shh, don't tell anyone. Let that be a lesson. Always keep an eye on what's going on the stove behind you. Less talking, more cooking.
When the button mushrooms are soft, blend them with the cream till smooth. Pass through a sieve, return to the heat, and stir in the diced king oyster mushrooms.
So we've now got double mushroom flavour going on. Thank you, and the lid as well. Thanks, mate.
Soften the mushroom dice for 5 minutes. Put on one side and start the risotto base. Melt butter in a high-sided sauté pan, add a splash of olive oil, followed by shallots and garlic.
Stir that, literally 10 seconds. Just soften it, and then the risotto rice. Now, the risotto rice I'm using here is carnaroli. It won't work with long grain or basmati. You need one with starches in. So keep giving it a stir.
Toast the rice in the oil for a couple of minutes. Then add a big splash of white wine. It smells amazing. Reduce the wine to a glaze, then add a ladle of hot stock and stir till nearly all of it's absorbed. Repeat till the rice is tender, but still has a little bite to it, about 12 to 15 minutes.
At this point, my rice is, I would say, 3 to 4 minutes away from being ready. I'm gonna add a spoonful of butter, lid on, off the heat.
While the risotto sits, make the garnish. Fry sage leaves in olive oil till crisp and drain on kitchen paper. Add butter to the sage-flavoured oil and fry the mixed mushrooms.
Once the mushrooms are just about cooked, last little cube of butter, take them off the heat, put your risotto back on, Take the lid off. You can see where we left that butter. Everything's just kind of gently melted together. This is where we add our king oysters, adding a massive kick of mushroom flavour. Stir it together.
For extra richness, I'm adding grated parmesan and diced mozzarella, half stirred into the risotto and half sprinkled into the serving bowls.
Take a great big ladleful. You can see that mozzarella already melting. And just with the base of your hand, let the risotto find its natural place to sit. And take your fried mushrooms, just a spoonful of them on the top. Some grated parmesan all over the top. And if you want to, a little drizzle of truffle oil. And finish it off with a couple of the sage leaves. There you have it. That, for me, is not far from being a perfect risotto. I mean, the only thing that makes it not perfect is that I'm not sat in Tuscany watching the sun go down. Otherwise, I reckon I've done an all right job with that.
Back in the pub kitchen, our twist on a mushroom risotto is proving popular, and all Adam's prep is coming into play.
When a risotto comes on order, this starter section will heat up mushroom puree and those diced king oyster mushrooms. Then Sarah stirs in some sliced raw button mushrooms or chestnut mushrooms, and they'll just kind of wilt down into it. Again, let out just raw, natural mushroom juices. Parmesan cheese goes in, then some diced mozzarella, served into a bowl. Then it gets a lovely sprinkling, chopped chives. And then on the top, gets a full-on grating, like a great big duvet Parmesan cheese. I mean, it's cheese and mushrooms. It looks like a risotto, but actually there's no rice in it at all. Everything about it is like mushroom plus. It's like a mushroom risotto on steroids, but without the steroids.
I've got a final dish to show you, which you can make at home. A dessert that celebrates one of the best quality fruits grown in this country.
Red summer British fruits are the best in the world. And there isn't more of a natural and world-famous combination than strawberries and cream.
And this is my twist on that British summertime classic. Individual strawberry cheesecake pots. Start by making the strawberry sauce. Heat strawberries in a pan with icing sugar till the fruit breaks down and releases its juice.
Whilst that's going on, I'm gonna make a cheesecake base. Now that cheesecake base is pretty much always made with biscuits. So I've just got some shortbread biscuits. I haven't made these, I've bought these from the shop. I mean, it's not about what they look like, it's about what they taste like. Oh, they're good. I like them.
Stick them in a plastic bag, get yourself a rolling pin and give them a bash. Then put to one side.
After 4 to 5 minutes, strawberries are cooked. I'm just going to puree them really lovely. A bit like making a smoothie. Lid goes on, which is actually the bottom. Onto the Ujima flip.
And blend it!
Once it's blended, pass this through a sieve into a bowl. Now we have two components, our biscuit base and some strawberry sauce. And the next thing we need to make is our cheesecake filling.
No baking required for this. Just mix together cream cheese, icing sugar and the seeds of a vanilla pod. Pour in whipping cream and give it all a good whisk.
As it's starting to thicken, add the juice of half a lemon. Now this will give acidity, it adds flavour, but what it'll also do, it'll thicken it up, a bit like sour cream. Take this mix and put it into a piping bag.
Now the fun part.
Spoonful of your biscuit crumb into your glass, and then just use your piping bag. Makes it a little easier to get it into the container, but also gives you space to drizzle a bit of your strawberry sauce in. And then another few splodges of cheesecake mix. Finish off some strawberries cut into quarters. And this really is a celebration of strawberries. Just come into season. That is a very quick, easy, super simple way of making a strawberry cheesecake. Take that one ingredient and try and make more of it. That strawberry really is the star of the show. And layer upon layer of texture and flavour.
Everything in the pub starts from the quality of the ingredients we use. We source the best, treat them with care, and serve them with love. And that's worth shouting about. Welcome to my pub.
I love the banter, I love the people that are in kitchens, I love the way that they work, I love the energy, I love the noise.
This is the coach. So as you come in, down here is the bar, an open kitchen.
Behind you. 2 burger, 1 chips away, please.
Pubs have been my life for over 20 years.
2 set chips history, please.
Join me behind the scenes of this one to meet the team who've made it a Michelin-starred success.
Any closer, we'll put a chef's jacket on you and an apron.
And to share our secrets for cooking and serving exceptional food.
If you're in a kitchen, it does feel like you're in this secret sect of people that just know something different to everybody else.
And for the first time, I'm going to open the doors to my test kitchen, where I'll create classic pub-style dishes you can cook at home.
Oh, look at that!
This time, a comforting aroma of nostalgia is filling the kitchen.
Big fan of retro desserts.
For our guests, we're going proper old school with jam roly-poly.
Loads of custard. It's got to sit in this lovely kind of pool.
And for the home cooks among you, there's a beautiful jam sponge you can knock up in no time.
That, more like it.
I'm showcasing the most 70s of main courses. Chicken Kiev.
Proper nostalgic, innit?
And a starter that's a right blast from the past. Deep-fried white-baked with Mary Rose sauce.
That is a proper retro banger.
Giving old-school British dishes a new lease of life is one of the things I'm best known for. Everyday dishes from my childhood, reimagined as fine dining. It's been a winning formula with my guests over the years. But the truth is, not everyone gets what I'm trying to do.
We've got a baked potato on the menu at the minute, and it's on the menu for over £20. A tabloid newspaper picked up on that. This particular newspaper likes to assume that I'm charging a load of money for a baked potato, but the reality of it's very different. Baked potato, you think of baked beans and cheese with it, don't you? It's fine. I love that. There's nothing wrong with that.
However, if you come here and have a baked potato, it's something very, very different. It layers and layers of flavours, but those layers are built up of really expensive and beautiful ingredients. This is a red King Edward. Scoop the inside out. That gets mixed together with some creme fraiche, some pickled mushrooms, chopped spring onions, and some beautiful air-dried Serrano ham. Gorgeous raclette cheese sits on top of the potato, and it just melts all together. I mean, look at that. It's not really a baked potato, is it?
Another dish on the menu today with a big dollop of nostalgia is our jam roly-poly. And yes, you've guessed it, it's a bit different from what you might remember from your school dinners.
Listen, it doesn't get more retro banger, does it, than a jam roly-poly. So it starts off with a sweet suet pastry, isn't that right, Rich?
Yeah. So the ingredients are sugar, lemon zest, suet, and self-raising flour. Add the milk gently, and then just start rolling it out.
And then a lovely deep red, rich strawberry jam gets spread all over, as if you were putting it on a toast in the morning, but quite thick. And you just get this lovely rectangle and roll it.
What's your favourite jam, Tom?
Strawberry. I mean, really, is there any other? I mean, there's lots of other jams, I know there is, but strawberry's got to be the best, hasn't it?
Rich rolls the roly-poly up lengthways, using the grease-proof paper to give it a neat swirl.
Even if the recipe is exactly the same, you can always tell which chef has cooked certain things. So when Rich is off, somebody else will make that jam roly-poly, but you'll be able to know which one was Rich's, or which one was made by Sarah, or which one was made by me. You know, like, there'll clearly be one that was better than the others. Whose would be better?
Your chef, probably.
It's the right answer, but it's not true, actually. Rich's would be fantastic. I mean, he's got the pastry patience. Pastry patience.
Our roly-poly isn't cooked school dinner style as one long roll. Instead, it's sliced into individual portions before it goes into our special oven that bakes and steams.
The rings are to hold them in shape, so as they cook, they'll pop up. It's self-raising flour. It's that suet dough. Goes that combination between being baked, crispy, but also soft and stodgy. I mean, it's beautiful.
It's got a tin foil in. It's just going to help trap in that heat, so we get nice little rises on the jam roly-polies.
They'll go into the oven now for about 25 minutes, ready for service later on. They're not on the lunch menu, are they?
Oui, chef.
Are they? Get them in.
We'll see just how amazing our roly-poly looks when it's plated up for service later. But first, I'm heading to my test kitchen to make a 70s favourite. Still flying out of the pub kitchen today.
Childhood memory for me that takes us right back to those sort of retro times is a chicken Kiev. It's always on the menu here at the pub, and this is a version that I'm going to make that you can do at home.
Like all chicken Kievs, it's got a lovely crisp coating and oozes with garlic butter.
The garlic that's going in is confit. This has been covered in olive oil, just gently poached in a pan for around about 25 minutes until it goes this lovely golden colour.
To make the garlic butter, I'm mixing the confit garlic into softened butter and adding a salty punch with anchovies and capers.
And then obviously chopped fresh parsley for that clean, fresh flavour.
What were the Kievs like that you had as a kid?
They were pretty much the processed Kievs, you know, from the freezer, and you bake in the oven. And the big problem that I find with Kievs is that when you bake them, that lovely butter escapes and it disappears. I'm going to show you a way of rolling the chicken so that that butter's got a much better chance of staying in the Kiev. Get yourself some cling film, butter into the cling film, roll it, tie the ends. Now you can make these well in advance, right?
Stick the butter in the freezer for at least 2 hours while you get on with prepping your chicken breasts.
Take your knife, butterfly the chicken out, just doing the larger top end. Then put a piece of baking parchment on the top, and then gently
bash the chicken, tenderising it, but also shaping it, creating one flat piece.
When you've done all 4, it's time for the crucial stage. Get this bit right and you'll have the perfect Kiev.
Take your bashed out chicken breast, pop it onto the cling film, but do it the outer side, that would have been the skin side, down.
Put the frozen roll of butter in the middle of the chicken and roll it, folding in the sides to totally enclose the butter. Then wrap.
And then we're going to freeze these again for another 30 minutes, just until they set up.
How popular are these on the menu in your pub?
Chicken Kiev's one of the biggest sellers in the pub. I mean, it's probably second only to a burger. Stuff's gonna go at the lid.
After half an hour in the freezer, the chicken's ready for paneing. Dip in flour, then egg, then into super fine breadcrumbs. Flour and egg again, finally into panko breadcrumbs.
With that double coating, there's a little bit of insurance for butter making a run for it. But also, you can see texturally how different that's going to be.
The Kievs get 5 minutes in the deep fat fryer at 170 degrees till golden, before finishing their cooking in the oven for 10 minutes at 180 degrees.
Asparagus and mashed potato, please. Just pop it on the bench, be great, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, look at it. Nothing beats a classic like this. Just go careful when you open it. Don't spill it down your shirt. Look at that. That, for me, is the perfect chicken Kiev. Cooking a piece of meat like that, with the butter in the middle, steaming it from the inside. They might be onto something here. Very clever. Isn't new, is it?
I've still got 2 more retro bangers that you can cook at home. A nostalgic strawberry jam steamed sponge pudding. And I revisit one of my original best sellers, crispy, crunchy whitebait with Mary Rose sauce.
That is a proper retro banger.
In the pub kitchen today, we've got a jam roly-poly on the menu, and we'll see that served up a bit later. Before that, I've got time to show you another pud which is just as nostalgic.
Big fan of retro desserts, and jam sponges are one of my favourite. Now, I love the jam roly-poly that we've got at the pub out the front, and this is not quite as hard to make, but equally as tasty. It's a steamed sponge pudding with strawberry jam.
First job, make the sponge. Cream together 150 grams of caster sugar and 100 grams of butter till pale and fluffy. Add 2 eggs and a teaspoon of vanilla extract.
You could put golden syrup in it, you could put cinnamon, you could put ginger.
I've also measured out 200 grams of self-raising flour and 75 mils of milk. Whisk in half the flour, then half the milk. And repeat.
So that's the sponge mix ready to go. I'm going to cook them in these. Now, these are little Dario moulds, and they've just been gently brushed with butter, a little bit of flour, and I've put a small little circle of paper on the bottom to stop the jam from sticking when we cook it.
Spoon strawberry jam into each mould, followed by the sponge batter. Easy does it, chef. Then pop the moulds into a tray and pour hot water into the bottom.
I'm going to cover the tray with some baking parchment and some tin foil. that hot water is just going to gently bubble away and create a wonderful steamy environment. And that's what will cook the sponges. This goes into the oven, 160 degrees. Going to cook it for about half an hour. Whilst that's happening, can I have a bit of a clean down? Give us a hand. All of this can go, thanks, mate. And I can make the custard.
Whisk egg yolks with caster sugar. Then into a pan goes double cream, a vanilla pod, and its seeds. Bring to the boil, stirring all the time.
What were you like at school?
I was distracted. And I was quite attracted to the chaos and the loud, silly but naughty boys.
And what did you think of the school dinners?
Back in my time, school dinners was not something we looked forward to. In fact, it got to the point where even though I could have free ones, my mum would send us in with packed lunches because we didn't bother.
Pour the warm cream onto the eggs and sugar. Return to the pan and heat and stir until thick. Strain and leave to cool.
These guys have been cooking around about half an hour. I'm just going to release foil on the paper. Oh, look at those. They look amazing. Little pub trick. So I'm going to cut the tops off so that when you turn it out, it's flat and it's straight. Okay. Look at that. I mean, it looks amazing. It's proper nostalgic, isn't it? Served with a couple of spoonfuls of rich, thick, gorgeous, cold custard with a hot pudding. Every now and then, in the fashion world, the retro stuff comes back and makes a proper appearance. Well, I think steamed pudding like this be the modern-day equivalent of flares.
Back in the pub kitchen, the orders are flying out.
Caesar salad and mussels of Parfait with extra brioche. Kiev, a burger, a fritter, 2 gurnard, 2 chips and a hispy. They've gone for it. It's only one person.
And an order's come in for our dessert of the day too.
The jam roly-polies have been baked. And then once it comes out of the oven, Ellie gives it a lovely little brush with some strawberry puree. And then goes back into the oven again, just for a couple of minutes. It gives me enough time to tell you about Ellie. Ellie's one of our apprentices. She's been with us how long now?
Oh, 8 months.
8 months. So from an apprentice's point of view, you can travel between the pubs, learn different things, one of which is how to make jam roly-polies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, so when this comes out of the oven, you can see it's got that glaze kind of just coats onto it. Gives it another layer, chewy, kind of sticky, sweet, toffee kind of texture. In the bottom of the bowl goes some vanilla custard. You want it loads of custard. It's got to sit in this lovely kind of pool of vanilla-y, sweet, creamy custard. Then on top of that goes a Treacle. This is like a proper old-school brandy snap basket. And then onto that, vanilla ice cream. How old are you, Ellie?
17. Sir.
17. Are you aware of like a jam roly-poly and brandy snap basket? Have you seen those before?
Not a basket. I've always been aware of brandy snaps.
See? Retro. They were amazing when I was like 7 or 8 years old. Now someone who's 17, they still know. So, you know, something from a long, long time ago. Jam roly-polies, always been amazing. They're here to stay, mate. And then finished off with a steady hand of strawberry puree. Do you feel pressure? Yeah. And I'll go and serve it. It's good enough to serve me.
Thank you.
I'm heading back to the test kitchen.
Top skills, Ellie. Well done, mate.
Because I've one more retro dish I want to show you. And this one's a right old trip down memory lane.
All right. This is a whitebait. And whitebait is a general term for small, kind of like baby fish. When we first opened, first pub,
We did a little cone of white bait served with Mary Rose sauce. And that's exactly what I'm going to do now.
First job, soak the white bait in milk.
Now, the point of putting them into milk is it kind of defrosts them nice and gently. And then any kind of bloodline that's in it just helps to soak it out.
To make sure the white bait are perfectly crisp and crunchy, I'm going to fry them twice. First, coat them in seasoned flour.
And then we drop them into a fryer at 170 degrees centigrade and give them that first cook.
Does that smell quite nostalgic for you, Tom, of the frying whitebait?
That smell just reminds me of the first pub. You'd have to have a separate tabletop fryer just like this, because otherwise the flavour of that oil would taste the fish.
After a couple of minutes, drain them and turn the fryer up to 180, giving me time to start my Mary Rose sauce. First, make a mayonnaise with 2 egg yolks, Dijon mustard, white wine vinegar, salt, and blend.
And as that's blended together, you add your oil. And this will emulsify the yolks and the mustard and give you a lovely punchy mayonnaise.
To turn the mayonnaise into Mary Rose sauce, I'm adding a good splash of Worcestershire sauce, Tabasco, cayenne pepper, a splash of brandy, followed by a big spoon of tomato ketchup, and blend again.
Have a little taste. Definitely more Tabasco. Now we're talking.
Leave the sauce on one side while giving the white bait their second fry for another couple of minutes till they're super crunchy. Season with salt and a pinch of cayenne pepper.
We used to make paper cones every single service for every single table. In fact, on your days off, you'd go home and you'd watch telly, and you'd be sat there and you'd just be rolling these cones up. And then I come to the point where I thought, actually, let's just have some made in ceramic so they can be done, re-washed and reused. It saves a lot of time and means you enjoy your day off a lot more. So this is another nostalgic thing. It'd be a bit like a cone of chips that I used to have as a kid in the local chippy. If you ask me, that is a proper retro banger, and one that is deserving its place in an award-winning pub. Actually, any pub. So good. Love a bit of white bait.
We should never underestimate the power of food to bring back happy memories. And in the pub kitchen, we aim to surprise and delight our guests, and hopefully make new memories. Welcome to my pub.
I love the banter, I love the people that are in kitchens, I love the way that they work, I love the energy, I love the noise.
This is the coach. So as you come in, down here is the bar, an open kitchen.
Behind you. 2 burger, 1 chips, sorry, please.
Pubs have been my life for over 20 years.
2 set chips history, please.
Join me behind the scenes of this one. to meet the team who've made it a Michelin-starred success.
Any closer, we'll put a chef's jacket on you and an apron.
And to share our secrets for cooking and serving exceptional food.
If you're in a kitchen, it does feel like you're in this secret sect of people that just know something different to everybody else.
And for the first time, I'm going to open the doors to my test kitchen, where I'll create classic pub-style dishes you can cook at home.
Oh, look at that!
This time, my kitchen's on fire. And I'm in my element with a flaming perfect rotisserie beetroot starter with goat's cheese.
Super tasty, really interesting little plate of food.
There's another beetroot starter, this time with blowtorch mackerel.
Do you want to burn some fish with a blowtorch? I mean, the answer to that is yeah.
I'm cooking on gas with my favourite main, ribeye steak with a mushroom and brandy sauce.
Ribeye steak rules.
And quenching the fire with ice. My chocolate malt sundaes round everything off a treat.
It is so, so good.
Joining us for dinner? Super.
To succeed in a professional kitchen, you have to push yourself to be better, to give yourself the edge.
Parfait's ready.
And when I was starting out, I have to confess, I didn't always play fair.
There was a point when I was actually 23, 24, where I worked in a restaurant for a very well-known chef. We didn't have enough big pans, so I'll get in before everybody else. And you got the pans that you wanted, like really nice ones, and you'd have to hide them so that nobody else would use them, because if they used them, your pan's gone, and then you have to go and find rubbish ones. So I used to take the ceiling tiles out, move them to one side, hide my pans in the ceiling, and then close the ceiling tile. And then when no one was looking, I would take the pan out that I needed. I'd hide them all through the ceiling. When I left, I bet there's some of them still there.
Now I'm the boss, I get to choose what we cook with. And I always knew we'd get one of these for the pub. An open flame rotisserie. Basically a giant rotating grill.
It's a great theatre-style piece for guests when they come through the door of the pub, sit down, chat to the bar staff, talk to the chefs, but they can also see food being cooked on it. They're a traditional piece of cookery equipment, you know, and you see them on the streets of Paris. We can use that, I suppose, nod to French-style cookery, put it into a British pub. That crossover between European-style food, British ingredients in this setting, I mean, I love the theatre of a rotisserie.
We always fire up the rotisserie for a dish of the day, like our loin of Blythburgh pork. And it's also where we cook one of our most popular vegetarian starters.
So this is a rotisserie roast beetroot with goat's cheese and raspberry vinaigrette. And the great thing about rotisseries is you can take lovely, humble ingredients like the beetroot. They look amazing, don't they? And then how do you drive that flavour out of them? Well, like this, on a rotisserie. Good coating of oil, put into a cage, and then cooked on flame. And it gives it that wonderful kind of char flavour on the outside, hot, blisters it. It almost kind of shrinks out, gives it this lovely kind of chewy, leathery kind of outside, whilst you've still got that lovely, sweet, earthy, roasted flavour of the middle of the beetroot. And this is great, simple, basic cookery using open flame.
So it's going to transform this beetroot into something quite elegant.
These beetroot will end up being the main part of the finished dish with some whipped goat's cheese. When it all comes together, it takes a root vegetable that you see is quite basic and lifts it into being something really elegant.
You'll see just how elegant the beetroot starter looks when it's plated up in service later. But first, I'm going to show you a dish to cook at home that's one of my fiery favourites.
Now, one of the first things that attracted me to the kitchen when I went in it as an 18-year-old was this intense heat, the adrenaline, the flames, and the knives.
This recipe uses all those exciting things, plus one of my favourite ingredients. It's ribeye steak with brandy mushroom sauce.
Ribeye steak rules.
Season the steak,
with salt and pepper. And that will help the steak get a lovely caramelisation when it goes into the pan. Heat oil and add a couple of knobs of butter. As that butter melts, it's beginning to go brown and caramelise. The steaks go in. Just leave them alone. Don't move them. The more you shake it, the less chance of colour is coming onto that steak.
Tom, what do you think are the common mistakes people make when they're cooking a steak?
I think they don't have the heat on high enough. And then I also think that people buy steaks that are too thin. You want thicker steak. You can still get it to medium rare without it overcooking. The steaks now have got a lovely caramelisation on one side, and I'm just going to flip them over. I'm not going to turn the heat down. I'm just going to cool the pan down with another knob or two of butter. Good squeeze of lemon juice. And a little bit of rosemary. Just give them some love. Take them off. Put them onto a tray and then pour on the hot butter. These right now are rare. By the time we come to serving them and slice them, they'll be medium to medium rare. I like a steak just a touch more. I don't want it super pink. And while the steaks are resting, I can make my sauce. In the same pan, melt a few knobs of butter. It'll pick up all that steak flavour. And add diced shallots, sliced mushrooms, and finely chopped garlic.
At what stage in a chef's career would they get a chance to be in charge of the steak cookery in a kitchen?
This kitchen's with Michelin star. Cooking a piece of meat is probably 3, 4, maybe even 5 years into your journey of being a chef. You've got to cook mushrooms or cabbages or carrots with the same amount of love and respect as you would a steak. If you don't show respect to the cheaper ingredients, there's no way as a head chef I'm going to let you touch a beautiful piece of meat like that. And at this point, it's the fun bit. It's the fire bit. Brandy. Get the pan nice and hot, and all this flavour that's sticking at the bottom of it, we're going to deglaze it with the brandy. See? That's why I love a kitchen. Then into that, I'm just going to add some beef stock. Bring it up to the boil. Little sprig of rosemary and thyme. Reduce by half, add double cream, Worcestershire sauce, and season. Fish out the rosemary and the thyme. It's absolutely beautiful. Ready to serve with our steak. Okay, some broccoli. Thank you. And just slice the steak nice and thin. You can see that resting process is so important. Still lovely, juicy, nice and pink. It's got a little bit of that outer crust on it. Parsley into the sauce. Give it a good stir through. There you have it. Ribeye steak with mushroom, brandy and cream sauce. And that little bit that I accidentally forgot to put on the plate. Chef's treat. Oh, so good. And this is everything that I love about kitchens. Amazing produce, high quality bit of meat. Slice in with a knife and set in fire to stuff. And later, I'll still be playing with fire with a starter you can cook at home. Blowtorch mackerel with beetroot. That is a perfect little starter. And from fire to ice, my chocolate malt ice cream sundae. In the pub kitchen, we're all fired up about today's starter. Rotisserie beetroot salad with goat's cheese. Before orders for that start coming in,
I've got time to show you another starter showcasing this amazing vegetable.
Big fan of beetroot, one of my favourite kind of ingredients, used particularly as a starter, making the beetroot a bit of a hero.
And this is blowtorch mackerel with pickled beetroot and blinis.
Now, blinis are little pancakes and they've got wonderful texture and they're light and fluffy. I've got plain flour. I've also got some buckwheat flour. Now, this is fantastic. It's just got a slightly nutty kind of flavour to it. Gives a little bit of a different texture to the blinis as well.
Separate 2 eggs. Put 1 yolk in with the flour, then whisk the 2 egg whites. Then add sugar and yeast to the flour bowl, along with warmed whole milk, and combine. Finally, mix in the whisked whites.
And this mix, just going to leave to one side in a warm space, just so that it can begin to prove up.
Next, I'm making a luscious glaze for the beetroot. In a pan, put red currant jelly, red wine vinegar, and 4 cloves.
And we're going to reduce it right down to a glaze.
Now prep the beetroot. These are ready cooked.
It does get everywhere. So if you have got a secondary chopping board, use it. And if you have got some of these gloves, use them, because otherwise it will stain your fingers. Take your beetroot. I'm just going to dice it up.
What were you like as a young chef? Do you like compete to get things done against yourself, against other people in the kitchen?
All the time. All the time, always competing against yourself in time scale. So you're competing against the terrine, you're competing against the globe artichokes. There's always little wins, because every single day you're making 150 bread rolls, and one day you found yourself like 7 minutes ahead of schedule. That's a win. There's another 2 jobs that could be done in 7 minutes that you can take off that job list.
And the next job on today's list, strain the glaze to remove the cloves. Add Dijon mustard and mix with the beetroot.
Look at that. And the glaze, I mean, it just makes it all shine. It makes it look amazing.
Now 2 garnishes. Whipped creme fraiche and chopped chives. And thinly sliced shallot rings. Then we're ready to cook our blinis.
Take a tablespoon of mix. Fluffy little pillows. And you can see, I'm not frying them too hard or fast, but there's enough heat in them so that they fry, because you don't want to drop them in and then they start absorbing the oil. With a little palette knife, just move them about a bit. Look at that. That's what you want. Lovely, golden, delicious.
Do you ever make these at home, Tom?
100% make these at home. This is a bit of a Christmas Day special at our house. We have blinis in the morning for breakfast, a bit of smoked salmon. And if it's been a good December, there might be caviar.
For today, I'm serving the blinis with a different fish.
So this is my beautiful mackerel. Just on a tray, little bit of oil. Then the fish, a little bit more oil. Pinch of seasoning. And then, this is how I'm going to cook them. So you could stick them under the grill if you wanted to, that's no problem. But actually, I quite like cooking mackerel with the intense heat of a blowtorch, because what happens is it blisters the skin, it curls up just a little bit, but then that heat bounces back off the tray and begins to cook it underneath. It's no big secret. I do love doing this. And if you had a real job and then somebody said to you on your day off, do you want to burn some fish with a blowtorch? I mean, the answer to that is yeah. 32 years I got paid to do that. It's amazing.
Prep's all done. We're ready to plate up.
2 blini pancakes, beetroot, mackerel fillet, just a drop of the whipped up creme fraiche, some shallot rings,
and finally, for a touch of luxury, some Avruga caviar. This is herring caviar, not the really posh stuff, but still a bit of a treat.
For me, the star, as always, is that beetroot. Earthy, solid, pickled, sweet and savoury. That is a perfect starter to go out into the pub.
In the pub kitchen, orders for our rotisserie beetroot starter are coming in. First on the plate is our whipped goat's cheese, followed by the roasted beetroot.
There's lots of other components that enhance it, drive those flavours. We have some candied beetroot that are crispy and crunchy. Then we've also got some amazing golden beetroot to go with it. And then it's dressed with this wonderful raspberry vinaigrette and pine nuts. And then final little touches, there's some peppery cress, some of those really lovely bitter leaves. Little grated lemon on the top. Beautiful tiny little starter that celebrates that roasted beetroot from the fire, the rotisserie as you come through the door.
And from fire to ice.
Hey Jen, how are you? All right?
I'm heading to the test kitchen to make a final dish at the other end of the temperature scale.
Finishing your meal should always be something special. When it comes to dessert, you want something that you're going to remember.
And I guarantee that you'll never forget this. Chocolate malt ice cream sundae. Heaven in a bowl. In a pan, heat milk, double cream, a vanilla pod and its seeds, and add dark brown sugar. Simmer till the sugar's dissolved, then remove from the heat. Whisk 4 egg yolks with caster sugar.
At this point, I'm going to pour that over my eggs and sugar. And just put it back into the pan till it thickens nicely. Now this is malt extract. Now this comes from barley, and it's kind of not barley the country, barley like the little crop that you use to make beer. And it smells a bit beery. If you think of the lighter way to enjoy chocolate, or the alternative bedtime drink that isn't hot chocolate, that's the flavour that you've got.
Add the malt extract to the custard. Pour the whole lot over chopped dark chocolate. And add more double cream.
I've got to cool it down a little bit before I can put it into the ice cream machine. How about this for a pub secret? Freezer blocks that you use when you disappear on a picnic. These can go straight into your chocolate mix and start cooling everything down. We use these freezer blocks for so many different things, for trying to get things cold super quick. Okay, guys, can we? Thank you, thank you. That's, need that. And after about 5 minutes, you just take these freezer blocks out, can then get washed, back in the freezer, ready for their next use. Proper pub secret, that one. Just gonna pour this amazing mix into my ice cream machine. Lid on and churn.
After around half an hour of churning, scrape the ice cream into a container and pop into the freezer. Now it's on to a super simple chocolate fudge sauce. In a pan, melt double cream, dark brown sugar, and butter.
We're going to gently bring this up to the boil and cook it till it all starts to emulsify and go all fudgy. Just add your chocolate chips. Turn the heat off. Stir until melted.
Pass the sauce through a sieve, we're ready to serve. Ice cream in first.
Then, a bit of squirty cream. And the warm chocolatey fudgy sauce just drizzled all over the top. to finish it off, a couple of them chocolate wafers. Oh God, it is so, so good. Now I love the temperatures that we work in kitchens, hot and cold. But I also think that they're great when it comes to eating as well. Hot with blowtorches and rotisseries, cold with ice creams. It still works nicely with a little bit of warm sauce on the top. Fire and ice cream.
They say if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. But that's precisely what attracted me into kitchens in the first place. And over 30 years later, I still love everything going on in the pub, hot and cold.